Andy is absorbed in his game? As Andy defends his own little world, Eset defends his privacy and data from online threats and computer viruses. With gamer mode on, Eset Internet Security does its job silently in the background without slowing down Andy's computer. Eset can even identify previously unknown threats and dangers. Go to eset.com and install the best protection for gamers. Eset Internet Security.
The Dallas Fuel, your 2022 Overwatch League champions! But none of that matters now. None of the numbers. What matters is what these two teams have left to show with a revamped team, play for play, blow for blow. It is the most competitive grand final we have ever seen. San Francisco and Dallas one more time will fight to the death. Doesn't get any better than this. Are you not entertained?
Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another day of Overwatch action here in Seoul, South Korea. I am Achilles, once again joined by Wolf, and we'll be guiding you guys through this lovely show match, the Eset Runback Series. We've got the Shock, we've got the Fuel, and they're going to be squaring off here on this very stage. As you can see, the Korean MC going to be bringing everybody who's in the live audience up to speed and get them ready to go in this matchup.
Yep, Caster Shim just announcing, of course, we'll be starting the show, and I'm really excited to be here with you, Achilles, to cast this really amazing rematch of the 2022 Grand Finals. And Look, I mean, we've got a really exciting match on our hands. We're going to be seeing some old players, some new players coming into these rosters. And this match is going to be played with a pretty unique rule set. And we'll get into the details of that later on. But some matches will be very serious and very intense, and some of them will be very fun. It looks like the microphone is now working for him.
He can do his bow again. There it is.
Yep.
But good. Glad we got that squared away. Got to make sure the mics are working. Hopefully ours are as well. But I think we're good to go. I think we're in the clear. We've made it past that initial little hurdle. But yeah, it's gonna be a wonderful little evening. Excited to be a part of this. Thank you to the Shock, of course, for putting this together. The Fuel for participating, and then to the title sponsor, Eset.
That's right.
As well, for being the title sponsor of this. It's awesome. We kind of teased, at the end of the Legends battle that it might not be too long until you guys get to see us cast together again. And here we are. It's a nice little treat. I'm glad that we are at least getting 3 days out of these last 3 years that you and I get to commentate together. So it's a good little treat for us as well as the audience.
Yeah. So we will have some interviews coming up here, and I will do my best to translate for you guys when that does happen. But looks like we are going to walk out the Dallas Fuel first. You can see the roster that they are bringing in today. Some familiar faces, some players that have been released from the roster officially, but will be returning to play today.
And I think today is the asterisk here that we should mention. This is a Shock event. It's going to be a roster reveal for the San Francisco Shock upcoming. This is the Dallas Fuel players who will be playing. This is not a roster reveal for the Dallas Fuel. So before everyone goes out there and it's just like, but I thought he was joining Atlanta. It's like, well, no, Fuel's just participating in this event, so you can go ahead and calm yourself down. But it's going to be exciting to see these guys play together again.
I'm excited to commentate Sparkle again for the first time in so many years.
True.
And even when he was playing for Paris Eternal, when I was commentating the Overwatch League, I was commentating APAC with you, so I didn't get to cast Sparkle games, but it's been a long time. But time to introduce the San Francisco Shock. And here they come, Achilleos. One of the most hype things we're going to watch today.
Well, there you have it. There they are. There's been some rumors circulating about who is going to be joining. Unfortunately, no, Super is not coming back. We couldn't get him to Korea in time. After the holidays, he's still spending time with his family. Probably not. He's probably streaming some random indie title or whatever like that on his stream right now. But we don't have him back. But we do have a fairly stacked roster here of the side of the San Francisco Shock. So there you go. This is what you guys can look forward to for today's matchup as well as in the future of the 2023 season.
Yep. So we're going to have a quick little interview with some of the players here.
항상 화면으로만 보던 그 얼굴들 그리고 항상 미국에서만 있었던 그 얼굴들.
So this is basically he's saying the players we've always seen on our screens, they've always been in America, but they're here now on stage in Korea. So introduce yourself.
안녕하세요.
Hello.
There you go. Seth can translate too.
안녕하세요.
Hello.
One more time.
델러스에서 탱커를 맡고 있는 한빈이라고 합니다. 안녕하세요.
Hanbin, the tank player for Dallas Fuel.
한국 팬분들 앞에서 이렇게 인사를 드리게 된 게 얼마 만이에요?
How long has it been since you've talked in front of Korean fans like this?
데뷔 때 이후로 처음인 것 같아요. 네, 이번이. 그럼 몇 년 만이죠?
It's first time since like he debuted.
3년 차니까 3년. 네, 3년 됐습니다.
I think he thinks it's been about 3 years.
Yeah.
어떠세요, 본인은 기분이? 일단
You and I remember those Element Mystic days.
Oh yeah. Never forget.
So how do you feel?
한국 분들이기도 하고 좀 더 이제 와닿으니까 선수로서 하고 있는 게. 네. 좀 더 긴장이 되네요. 아 긴장이 좀 된다.
He's nervous.
실제로 미국에서 경기할 때와 지금 이제 이 앞에 한국 팬분들 앞에서 경기할 때와 좀 차이가 있을 것 같나요?
So is it different playing in front of an American crowd versus playing in front of the Korean crowd?
덜덜 떨고 있어 지금 한빈.
I didn't hear what he said, but Caster Shim is just like, you seem pretty nervous.
이번에 이벤트 매치 재밌게 해볼 테니까 잘 봐주세요. 감사합니다.
I'm going to have a lot of fun today for the event match, so please enjoy it.
스파클 선수한테 마이크를 좀 넘겨주시고.
Sparkle time.
안녕하세요.
It is
Confirming the mic works. Hello.
델러스페어에서 DPS를 맡고 있는 스파클 김영환이라고 합니다.
I'm the DPS player for Dallas Fuel Sparkle.
정말 멋있었죠. 우승의
Isn't he cool?
주역 중에 한 명인 스파클 선수. 우승했을 때 그때 심정이 좀 어땠어요?
How did you feel when you won
저는 뭐
the
일단은
championship?
팀원들한테 버스 받았기 때문에 일단 기분이 좋았고요.
I think he said, I believe he said, I was really happy with my teammates kind of carried me, and I was really happy.
기분 좋게 이 시즌 자체를 또 마무리하게 됐잖아요. 올 시즌 전체적으로 좀 평가를 해보면 어떻던가요?
How do you feel about your season now that's
저도
over?
그렇고 저희 팀원 모두가 다 성장의 발판이 된 것 같아요. 네, 한 단계 더 좋은 선수가 된 것 같습니다.
그렇군요.
I think he said,
스파클하면은
he's kind of mumbling a little bit, and I'm not a professional interpreter, but I believe he said, like, I feel like I became a better player because of my teammates.
제로2 춤 이런 거 생각나시죠? 경기 전이니까 그거는 제가 시키지 않겠습니다. 대신에 여러분들
This is
이따가
a
끝나고
meme.
팬미팅 있는 거 아시죠?
There's a fan meeting.
한번 노려보도록 하겠습니다. 자 마지막으로 팬분들한테
So one more word to your fans.
오늘 이벤트 경기니까 네, 다들 재밌게 즐겨주시고 저희도 이제 샌프란시스코 이제 새로운 선수들이랑 경기하게 돼서 매우 기쁘고요. 또 이제 저희도 누가
He
있지
said-
않겠습니까? 네, 재밌게
He
즐겨주세요
said,
다들. 감사합니다.
It's an event match. I hope you guys really enjoy it. I'm really excited to play with the new San Francisco Shock roster.
구려 선수 첫 시즌이었어요. 좀
And I think he was
어떠셨어요?
like, I hope we could beat them at the end.
경기 때마다 긴장도 많이 하고 네 그랬어요.
I normally
사실
get
경기
nervous
실전이
during these
그렇게
games.
많지는 않았지만 오늘도 출전하게 됐잖아요.
Nervous chuckle.
오늘 캐리할 자신 있으십니까?
아 당연하죠.
작습니다. 다시 한 번 더.
캐리하겠습니다.
야!
I'm gonna carry.
각오 한 말씀 듣고 마무리하도록 하겠습니다.
제가 한국에서 하는
Yeah, says he's gonna say one more thing.
경기는 아예 처음인데 네 한번 잘 해보겠습니다.
It's the first time playing in front of the Korean fans, so I'm gonna do my best.
어머니, 필머니, 예.
Fielder,
어떻게 하면 그렇게 궁을 잘 채울 수 있어요?
잘 모르겠어요. 그냥 힐만 했는데 공이 잘 차더라고요.
그렇게 잘 본인이 플레이하는데 어떻게 잘 몰라요?
how do you not know your own play? Like, how do you not know your own confidence? I guess.
별명이 필머니. 저희가 뭐 중계 중에 많이 뭐 언급하기도 했지만 별명 어떻게 좀 마음에 들어요?
네, 마음에 들어요.
마음에 들어요?
네.
I think this is a joke. Like, I'm hearing this term for the first time. Pure money. Maybe that's a joke about Fielder and getting the money. I don't know what pure money is
Lost on
in this
me.
case, or if I'm mishearing this. But sorry, guys, I'm trying my best to translate this. Let's see what he says.
이번에 이벤트 매치 재밌게 하러 왔으니까
I came here to have fun with this event match.
좋겠습니다. 감사합니다.
So I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you.
그리고 하나만 더요. 사실 필더 선수가 이 델러스피어의 유니폼을 입고 경기를 마지막 치르는 거잖아요. 네.
It's your last time wearing the Dallas League uniform and playing for them.
새로운 팀이 또 결정된 걸로 알고 있습니다.
We know you're on a new
새로운
team
팀에
now.
가서 새로운 팀 팬분들이 또 보고 계실 수도 있으니까 저 위에 있는 카메라 보면서 새로운 팀에서 어떤
So
플레이
basically,
펼치겠다.
tell our people what you think about your new team and fans of the new team you're joining.
이제 댈러스에서 하던 것처럼 계속 잘할 테니까 응원 많이 해주세요. 감사합니다.
I'm going to work just as hard as I did on Dallas. So continue to cheer for me, my new team. Of course, Atlanta Reign is the team he's joining.
Looking forward to his lower bracket run.
네.
거의 3년 만인 것 같아요.
3년 만에.
So it's also been 3 years since he played in front of the crowd, the Korean crowd.
그때 롤스타 봤을 때 좀 저 혼자 메인 힐러라 좀 의아했었어요. 아직 다른 선수들도 받을 만한 선수가 많았는데 저 받은 거 기쁘긴 하지만 왜 나 혼자지? 이런 생각이 많이 들었던 것 같아요.
So, just kind of making a joke, I think, about his healing and feeling like, oh, why am I here by myself? Why am I so alone? Like, I missed the question, so I don't really know the context. What about today's games?
마지막 이벤트 경기긴 한데
It's my last match with the Fuel.
좀더 재밌는 경기로 보답하겠습니다.
So I want to make sure I can show you guys a game that's really fun.
오늘 서로 재밌게 하면 좋으니까 한 풀세트가 하면 좋지 않을까요?
I asked him about the score prediction. He was like, well, since we're here to have fun, wouldn't it be awesome if we went the full distance to all 7 games?
자, 이제 샌프란시스코 쇼크.
Now we're going to talk to the Shock.
새로운 얼굴이죠?
This is the boring part for Achilles, where you just have to like listen to me.
I just get to sit here.
안녕하세요. 탱커를 맡고 있는 맥스라고 합니다.
Max, the new tank player for San Francisco Shock.
참고로 말씀드리면 샌프란시스코 쇼크는 확정 로스터입니다.
This is the San Francisco Shock's fixed roster.
쇼크 소속으로 이제 뛰게 될 텐데 어때요? 쇼크에 오니까.
What do you think about the new roster?
좋다. 또.
It's good. Anything else?
기쁘네요.
기쁘다.
I'm happy. Anything else?
재밌네요.
재밌다.
It's fun.
네, 여기까지.
여기까지.
That's it.
좋고 기쁘고 재밌다.
Max is gonna be famous early on in his career, man.
같이 경기 스크림을 많이 뛰어 보셨나요 혹시? 아니요.
Have you played that many scrims with them yet? Nope.
마이크를 대고 말씀해 주세요. 네.
He's got a lot to learn.
좀 어떨
Is it your first time playing with a full roster? And I think you said yes.
사실 그 오버워치 리그 이번 시즌에 펼쳐졌던 그 그랜드 파이널 무대 화면으로 보셨잖아요.
네.
네.
So you watched the Grand Finals.
재밌는 것 같아요.
재밌는 것 같았다.
What did you think about it? That was pretty fun.
준우승했는데 내년은 내가 우승시켜야지 이런 생각 안 들었나요?
그런 생각도 들었어요.
Yeah, so don't you think like, oh, I'm gonna have a fun finals like that next year too? He's like, yeah, I think so.
쇼크 소속으로 처음 인사드리는 거예요. 각오한 말씀.
So what's your goals for the next year?
와주셔서 감사하고요. 오늘 이벤트 매치니까 재밌게 하는데 이기겠습니다.
Even though it's an event match and it's for fun, I'm gonna win.
아니 이게 누구야?
Next.
인사 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
이번에 쇼크로 합류하게 된 빈다임이라고 합니다.
Vindime for San Francisco Shock, or Vindame as we call him in English.
이제 이적을 하시게 됐는데 처음에 얘기를 들었을 때 좀 기분이 어땠습니까?
When you first found out you're joining the team, how did you feel?
원래 항상 쇼크가 실러가 셌었는데 들어오게 돼가지고 인정받은 것 같기도 하고 해가지고 기뻐.
You said like Shock's always been a really strong team, and you know when he got to join, he was really like, yeah, I could feel this is a strong org.
이으려고 노력할 생각입니다.
So next year he's going to be working as hard as possible.
소속이 돼서 이제 앞으로 미국 생활을 하시게 될 텐데 그 부분에 대해서 좀 어떻게 생각하세요? 좀 기대가 많이 되나요?
I believe you said, what do you feel about going to America?
파이널에 갔을 때 미국 경험을 조금 했었는데 날씨도 좋고 해가지고.
He said, I was there obviously in the Grand Finals, and the weather was good and it was a fun place.
확정 로스터로 맺게 되고 첫 경기를 치르게 되는데 좀 어떨 것 같나요 오늘?
What do you think about today's games with this new fixed roster?
제가 또 O2였었거든요. 희상이 빼고 그랬어가지고 괜찮을 것 같아요.
He said, yeah, I've played in front of crowds like this when I was in O2, so I think I'll be all right. Word to the fans.
하고 오겠습니다.
I'm gonna have fun today. Man, a few words today.
팬분들께 인사 한 말씀.
So introduce yourself.
이번에 쇼크에 합류하게 된 희상이라고 합니다.
So
이미지가 확 달라졌는데? 어떻게 된 거예요?
메이크업을 받았어요.
메이크업.
I missed the joke there.
합류하게 됐습니다. 처음 소식 들었을 때 좀 어땠어요?
So when you found out about this, what do you think?
생각을 제일 먼저 한 거고 그냥 그랬던 것 같아요.
잘 안 들렸어요. 한 번만 더요.
I'm like, so it's not just me. I couldn't hear it either.
실감이 났어요.
리그를 간다는 게 드디어 실감이 났다. 그럼 리그에서 나 어떤 플레이를
It's finally time to play in the Overwatch
보고
League.
계시는 시청자분들과 여기 계신 팬분들한테 포부한 말씀 좀 부탁드리겠습니다.
모두가 만족할 만한 경기력 보여주고 싶어요.
저 말고 여기.
I want to show like basically I want to show the games that like I'm happy with how I played basically. The word he uses manjuk, like to be satisfied. So I basically saying He wants to show you guys games that like he'll be satisfied with as well, or perhaps he's referencing the audience saying that they'll be satisfied with.
자, 프로퍼.
It seems unclear. Proper, of course.
한국 팬분들 앞에서 굉장히 오랜만에 인사를 드리게 됐잖아요. 인사 한 말씀.
So introduce yourself to the fans.
쇼트에서 딜러를 맡고 있는 프로퍼라고 합니다.
I'm Proper, DPS player for San Francisco
어떻게
Shock.
그렇게 하면 잘 쏴요? 어떻게 하면 그렇게 잘 쏘냐고요?
그냥 보이는 대로 쏘니까.
Why are you shooting so? Why do you shoot so well? Like, why is your aim so good? I just shoot where I'm looking.
그런 느낌 아니에요 지금? 그런 건가요?
비슷한 느낌이죠.
I think he asked, "Is it like you're shooting a real gun?" And I don't know exactly what he asked, but he was like, "Yeah, I think so. I think it's pretty similar." He asked if it was similar to something.
마지막 무대에서 좀 아쉽게 준우승을 차지했어요. 근데 오늘 리벤지 매치잖아요.
So it's a revenge match today. What do you say about that?
솔직히 오늘 이벤트 매치라 리벤지 느낌보다는 그냥 팬분들한테 재미를 위해서.
So it's a show match. So more than revenge, I'm actually just looking forward to showing good games to the fans.
자, 마지막으로 팬분들께 오늘 각오 한 말씀.
오늘 승패 떠나서 그냥 재미있게 경기하고 재밌게 그냥 보답드리겠습니다.
They have good and fun games today. The common theme. This is not you guys' first time watching a Korean interview, all right?
Yeah.
팬분들께 인사 한 말씀.
I hope everyone does their best.
이렇게 추우신 날 이제 와주셔서 정말 감사합니다, 여러분.
Thank you guys so much for coming on such a cold day.
앞에 서니까 좀 어때요?
It's not that cold today, but
좀
True.
새로운 것 같아요. 이제 외국인 분들만 보다가 이제 한국인들 보고 이제 외국인 선수랑 뛰다가 이제 옛날에 같이 했던 오투 애들이랑 또 하게 됐고.
So he said it feels different from actually being like as a foreigner playing in front of a Western crowd coming here back in front of the Korean fans. It feels like his O2 days.
본인 좀 평가한다면.
일단 처음 이제 외국인이랑 하는 거잖아요. 그래서 소통 문제도 좀 있었고 그래도 뭐 영어 배운 걸로 이제
So there were some communication issues when I was playing with foreign players before on the roster. But I learned some English and it was a good experience.
일단 오늘
What about next year?
매치니까 그냥 좀
Or actually for this match, he asked what about this match.
이제 즐기면서 할 거라서 이제 풀세트로 그냥
I hope it goes the full set. I want to have the most fun possible.
하고 싶지 않을까 싶어요.
So wouldn't that be the best match if it goes all the way to the distance?
Agreed.
All right, I think that is the end of the interview.
Well, as always, thank you Will, for guiding us through that. I
tried my best. It was a little bit tough today because the players were being very shy and quiet, but
true. But yeah, I just get to sit back and kind of chill out. But I believe we're going to have a quick little break here, let the players get set up on stage, and then we should be able to get the match underway and see if we can, in fact, go the full distance. So make sure you guys stay with us, and we'll dive into the action. Of course, we have some fun little set modes for every single map that's going to be played for you guys to just keep you thoroughly entertained. So make sure you don't go anywhere. I believe that we will be right back in a few minutes.
Andy is absorbed in his game? As Andy defends his own little world, Eset defends his privacy and data from online threats and computer viruses. With gamer mode on, Eset Internet Security does its job silently in the background without slowing down Andy's computer. Eset can even identify previously unknown threats and dangers. Go to eset.com and install the best protection for gamers. Eset Internet Security.
The Dallas Fuel, your 2022 Overwatch League champions! But none of that matters now. None of the numbers. What matters is what these two teams have left to show with a revamped team, play for play, blow for blow. It is the most competitive grand final we have ever seen. San Francisco and Dallas one more time will fight to the death. Doesn't get any better than this. Are you not entertained?
Hello, welcome to The Void, and we are ready to dive into the action here. I'm Achilles, that's Wolf, in case you're just not tuning in. It's good to be back, and it's good to have this series. It's going to be a fun little event. We've got the holidays out of the way. I guess we have New Year's coming up, but we're ready to get back to down to brass tacks, get back into the action, and start casting some games again.
It's so I feel like we're so lucky that this, early into what is a very long off season with the free window just opening and stuff like that we actually get a roster that's basically fully formed, right? You guys are probably wondering like where some of the players you missed or thought would be on Shock are. They might still join the roster. There's still some time to go. This is the roster that Shock is fielding today. It's the roster they've announced, of course, but who knows? Maybe surprises in the future. I'm not speaking for Shock or anything. I don't have any secret info, but, this is the roster we have, of course, revealed for today, but there's still time. We might see some new additions. But it's so rare that we get to see a roster and get a look at an Overwatch League team this early. But also on the other side of things for the Fuel, the defending champions, to have the players, even though they split up, to be able to kind of come back together. Obviously not completely. It's not the same full roster they won the championship title with. Fearless isn't here, but it's still a roster that you could feel like if you're a Dallas Fuel fan who enjoyed the last season, you get to watch them play a best of 7 one more time together for the fans and have a fun match. So it's a really exciting day, I think, for fans of both of these teams, and just for Overwatch League fans who, in general, are like, it's a long off season, and I want some more Overwatch.
I was going to say this helps cut up the off season and make it feel like it's a little less long, a little shorter. There's some stuff to do in the meantime because a lot of people they get done their jobs or they get done their school and they go on their holiday break and they're like, oh, thank God. For us in esports, we're like, please, can we start casting again? Because not only do we like we like getting paid, but we just love our jobs. So we want to just keep working. So it's nice to have these little events sprinkled in to just kind of, re-inject and kind of reinvigorate ourselves.
When I first started casting, when I would go into the makeup room to get makeup, like for the first probably year of casting, I'd be like, oh, this is so annoying. I don't like getting makeup, but like I know I look way better, so like I'm going to accept this as a part of my job. But now like if I don't sit in that makeup chair and get makeup on and go to work, I feel weird. I've like it's been too long, and when I sit down in the chair, I'm like, oh, thank God, yeah, I'm still employed. Like I still work, and I still get to cast matches. And so thank you so much to Eset and San Francisco Shock for inviting us to commentate this. We're here in the WDG Esports studio. It's a 1-to-4 match today.
There's a chance, depending on how these go, we might, even if it is like a 4-0 blowout, let's say that Shock just crush it. There's a chance that we play some additional maps here, just depending on the pace of everything. But yeah, 1-to-4 otherwise. And of course, we have some fun game modes sprinkled throughout here. It's not going to be any of this, it's not going to be like, oh, unlimited heroes or whatever. But 3v3 team deathmatch. There will be playing actual matches, actual maps in a 5v5 format. But there's going to be a couple, things like, oh, maybe you have to run Winston and Tracer on this one. You have to run Ramatra on the other one, kind of like we did for the Legends battle. So if you guys tune into that, a bit of what to anticipate kind of going forward from this. Another thing to keep in mind is if you're watching here on the YouTube chat, to keep your eyes out for the chat. The Shock will be posting in there a not-so-secret keyword at some point for a giveaway, so make sure you guys have your eyes trained on that. I'm being yelled at by Sen right now to make sure that we keep you guys informed about that. So you guys can try to win some nice stuff, maybe those hoodies, perhaps. I don't know what they're giving away, but the hoodies look neat. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Andy Miller, I'd love one.
Yeah, please send. Please send to Korea. International shipping. Who cares? Send it to us, please.
Just give me one of the players' ones.
Killers is going to trade his day rate for a hoodie right now. All right,
Exactly.
let's talk about this. Let's talk about this Dallas Fuel roster because obviously the big standout here is that you've got Hanbin in, and it's not Fearless, the finals MVP. So it is very much a different look here. And what's exciting about that for me is that we get to see Hanbin playing more of a main tank focused role, right? We might see him on the Winston, maybe some Doomfist from him, which he's been good at in the past. So I'm excited to see what he looks like with this roster, obviously, because he did play, quite a lot throughout the season. But now it's just him today for this matchup.
Yep. Well, there you go. The secret keyword is Winton, as they just dropped in the chat. So keep that in mind for when the giveaway goes up. So keep your eyes trained on that. But yeah, I'm excited to see these guys. Fielder has been an absolute treat to watch, and pretty much no matter where he goes, obviously we know he's going to the Reign. He's going to continue to be just a phenomenal player. Excited to see him rocking the Fuel jersey at least one last time, but you never know what's going to happen in the future. He could just double back around at some point. But him alongside Sparkle, who, I mean, you haven't gotten to see and speak to in forever. You got to see him in the makeup room, and just always an absolute character. And it's kind of just crazy to see how much he's grown up.
Yeah, it really is crazy. Because you and I commentated him when he was like 15?
14, 15 years old. We're like, oh, when this guy can join the league, he's going to make waves.
So,
and he absolutely has.
Speaking of players joining the league, obviously Proper is the first player to win 3 Overwatch League awards. Rookie of the Year, Season MVP, and DPS Role Star. He was one of the players that you and I commentated way back in the day, and we were like, damn, this guy is going to be in like 4 or 5 years, like one of the best players ever, and we were hyping him up. He played back in 2018. He played with Kaiser on Stormquake. Like, the guy has been around for a very long time.
Oh my God, there's a team name I haven't
Yeah, dude. And we were like, okay, Proper's going to do great.
the
He
hell?
goes to Overwatch League. Avril's been hyping him up, obviously, too, because he cast him in the end of his Contenders career.
Just a little bit.
And then Proper comes in, kills it, right? But to imagine Heesong, who's like the new version of Proper, being on the same team as Proper as the DPS duo, like if someone told me that was going to happen a few years back, I would have never believed it. And it's on the San Francisco Shock, one of the most competitive, successful Overwatch League teams. I mean, the most successful Overwatch League team of all time. So in terms of DPS, this lineup is basically broken. It's not fair.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Avril. Let's give a quick shout out to our co-streamers, of course, who are doing this event alongside of us. I believe we've got Avril and Custa who are doing a co-stream, and then there's another one. His name is, not my first choice, but Avast. He's also out there, but you know what my first choice is, at least when it comes down to cybersecurity? It might not be Avast, but it's certainly Eset. So
that's right.
Make sure you guys keep your PCs protected, and of course, all the thanks in the world to them for sponsoring this event so that we can bring you guys this action here in the off-season.
Yep. Make sure your digital journey is safe, protected by Eset. So let's talk about the rule set here for how this is going to be played.
There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, it's a lot to unpack, so I'm not going to read all the map names off. You can see them here. You can take a screenshot if you want to reference this later. But the first round is going to be Winston Cassidy Tracer Lock. Second round, Anything Goes. Third round is what was written down on our sheet as an actual 5v5 game with Ramatra. So it's going to be 5v5 normal rule set, but Ramatra is locked.
Yeah.
Mystery Heroes for the fourth one, so Anything Goes on that one. And then a ban for the fifth round. So Sojourn is going to be banned, is what I'm told. So Sojourn will not be playable, but otherwise a normal match on Dorado. And then the sixth one, we're not 100% sure, but looks like it's going to be Goats oriented. You can play 2 tanks, Reinhardt and Zarya. And then the rest of the 3 heroes can be anything, so you can play DPS, or we'll probably just see 5v5 Goats, which will be really fun. And then we will have the final match just being normal 2-2-2 or 2-1-2 lock. 1 tank, 2 DPS, 2 supports, normal game.
Yeah.
Is what I assume that role queue means. So it's going to be the same format as Pro Play.
Alrighty. Well, excited to see what's going to happen here. I mean, intriguing choice, and I actually like it because it's not a character that we get to see too much of. The Cassidy must pick for Esperanza. I'm excited to see this because it's been a while since we've gotten to see many people play the Cassidy. Oftentimes it's a very last-minute choice. Sometimes you see it, but that Nambani as well, a map that I don't think we had at all this year.
One of my favorites. So
it's been a damn long while since I've gotten to cast Nambani. I feel like one of the last times that I got to cast Nambani was the Valiant Fusion incident where Valiant won the map and Fusion got locked out of going to a stage tournament. But enough about that. We'll stop torturing the Fusion fans. As speaking of fans, are riled up, as are we. So let's go ahead and unlock the doors, get into the action.
All right, Esperanza push for the first map type here, and we are going to see the unlocked portion of these two teams. Very, very likely. We all knew it was going to be the case, but the same supports we've been seeing for a while, let's just say. Won't be named, but see Fielder and Shio as they do it one last time on the Dallas Fuel.
From the outset, Magnetic Grenade going to be lobbed in there. Not going to be finding a kill quite just yet. Little fan of the hammer, try to break the Winston bubble, which they will be able to do. So far, still no kills going to be found, but Max is going to be taken down to a sliver of HP. Narrowly survives, still is under fire. Looks like they will be able to stabilize. And Max is actually going to find the opening kill as Gio's going to be taken out. Fielder now has his work cut out for him, trying to stay alive, trying to keep the team topped up. Sparkle will alleviate some of that pressure by finding the kill here onto the tank, but looks like it's going to be the Shock who are widely winning out the fight as Heesung goes ahead and paints the kill feed red. Bot now going to be taken. The push starts coming through. The Shock now in the lead.
Yeah, it's just so much more pressure on Griot than there was on Proper there. You could definitely tell if you watch both health bars, Proper was able to do a lot more safe damage, a lot more resources had to be burned by Fielder to save Griot there. It did end up falling, so the positioning got a little bit muddled, and San Francisco Shock will get control of the push for now.
Still not being contested. They're trying to go for this high ground. Nate's going to take Hanbin down to about half HP. Just have a slight little lead towards that Primal Rage, but Max is keeping pace, but also takes a hell of a lot of damage. They managed to sustain, to keep him alive. Pulse bomb out from Sparkle, not going to be able to find a connection. Goryeo sat here on the high ground, looking for a target. A couple taps coming through. He doesn't nearly have this Deadeye locked in. Proper going to be taken down. Nice little shot from him. Finds that kill to help try to turn the tides of the fight, but the Pulse bomb comes out from Heesung, finds Hanbin. Goryeo going to be taken down, and that's the Shock kind of stealing this fight win away. Bot has been shifted back into a more neutral position here for the side of the Dallas Fuel, but it looks like it's going to be shifted right back over towards the checkpoint here as the Shock regain control once more.
San Francisco Shock stopped the push where they committed the Kitsune rush, so Fielder uses the ultimate. Hanbin is picked. It was a huge pick there by Heesung with that Pulse Bomb. Can't use his Primal Rage, so they're not able to actually continue that fight into Sound Barrier territory and really utilize their ultimates to the best of their abilities. So San Francisco Shock with a nice, efficient hold.
Well, they get the deny on the bot here, at least for the moment. Primal's got to be popped, but still in danger is Hanbin. He can't break line of sight, and Proper just wisely holds onto the ult, lets it go ahead and charge up, gets the double tap here on the Fielder as well, and that is going to be the checkpoint obtained. Shock now have the forward spawns and can begin pushing towards the end of the map.
Proper is just pounding right now. They got locked out. Hanbin ults, but he's locked away. San Francisco Shock keep him away from his teammates. Everyone else has to stay inside because of the Deadeye, and he still fully charges the Deadeye on a Primal Winston, takes him out.
Oh my god.
Man's insane.
I mean, Sparkle shows himself for like 2 seconds, nearly dies. Proper just getting the taps across. That's going to be the Sound Barrier locked in now for Vinheim. Drops the beat. Gio going to be matching. Pulse Bomb held here by Sparkle. Still hovering around the backside of the Shock roster. Looking for a target is Goryeo. Going to be using the Deadeye, but can't find much. Gets a little bit of damage there onto Heesung, but doesn't find the full charge. Pulse Bomb again from Sparkle, not finding a connection. So no kills found, but the bot's going to be stolen away as they did get themselves around the backside of the Shock members. But Proper still able to hound down Sparkle. Finds the kill. Pulse Bomb out from Heesung. Going to be absorbed. Fielder wisely throwing down that Suzu. Helps keep the team alive. Drops in with the Kitsune rush, but then Goryeo's going to be taken down. So now it's a DPS-less comp here for the side of the Dallas Fuel. They just can't afford to really fight back. They don't have the ability to, rather. And they are just going to get swept under the rug yet again.
Max looks super clean on this Winston, and the main thing I've noticed about how San Francisco Shock have played this match so far is they isolate the DPS players into one of these side rooms, and then they collapse on the supports, or then just focus Hanbin, right? They split the team in half consistently. Max has done that so well. He's got another Primal available. The Sound Barrier to engage was beautiful. San Francisco Shock just running away with this one.
Yeah, looking incredibly clean so far, and I mean, as we heard from them during the interview, not a lot of time to go ahead and get scrimmed scrimmed up and practiced, so looking fairly clean here. Laid out Max as the primal though, so he's going to be sitting pretty. Not too concerned as Proper's still alive, so Proper go kill. Gets the elimination, finds Hanbin. Sparkle going to be taken down, and it's looking like we're going to have a full push coming through right now, Wolf.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely what we are watching right now, Achilles. I mean, this is a very one-sided affair. Now, Dallas Fuel do have a few ultimates coming online here. They're going to have to use this Deadeye to zone, but the problem is they're kind of stuck in spawns here. Hisong's got a flank angle with this Pulse Bomb. It is going to be really rough to get out as Hanbin and get value out of this Primal last minute.
It's Sound Barrier used aggressively as they go charging forward. Pulse Bomb going to be lobbed in, doesn't find the connection, so Gurio going to be able to stay alive there in the spawn room, but Sparkle trying to keep things contested, ends up getting taken down. Here's the juggle. They just go ahead and pump heals into Proper. He won't be able to find the kill this time around onto Hanbin, but he swings the corner, finds Fielder with a mag grenade, and Hanbin has to exit. The bot continues to push as Shock look to go ahead and end the first map in style.
Wow. Nearly under 5-minute finish here for Push. An absolute dominant affair.
Yes, it is. Fielder will be able to get one with this Kitsune Rush, but can only do so much to keep the bot contested there at the very end. And yeah, as you say, a very swift victory as Shock will go ahead and take our first map.
5:17 was the time it took to finish.
5:17, and also I believe at the end of that, didn't quite get full confirmation. I think it was 0.9 meters gained for the fuel.
Pushing it over for a second at least, you know?
Brutal.
It got a little bit. Well, you mentioned it. The players said that this is like their first time really playing something together, like really getting the roster together and doing an official thing. Because I think probably they've done some scrims, and usually when these rosters are formed, you have some tryouts and some trial periods to see like how well do you gel with the players we're building, how well do you get along with them and stuff like that. It's usually not just like, hey, you want to join? Okay, like you're in. Like usually there is a little bit of trialing that goes on and stuff like that. And so, you know, this is not the first time I played together ever. I don't think that's true. But the synergy clearly shouldn't be there. And yet.
I mean, you only need so much synergy when Proper just clicks heads like that, I guess. Turns out Cassidy for Proper, it's pretty damn good. It's pretty good.
So I was curious about, you know, the same reason I was talking about Hanbin earlier, you know, stepping into Fearless's shoes here in this match and having to play the Winston. I was curious how Max would do because he has played a lot of Winston in the past, but he was a flex tank player before, you know, Overwatch 2, played a lot of Sigma when he was playing, of course, on O2. And so I was like, okay, well, he's in a similar situation in that he played with other tank players who would do that main tank role. But he is, to me, like, yeah, I knew Proper is like one of the greatest Cassidy players of all time. Hisong, great Tracer player, one of the biggest up-and-coming players for the Overwatch League. But those players, I knew they were going to be great, right?
Known
but
quality.
Max was very impressive with his Winston, how he split the team in half, how he protected the DPS, put more pressure on Gurio in particular, who unfortunately ended up being pretty invisible in this first game. It's a good look. It's a good look.
Sure. Yeah. Very solid. So, I mean, granted, Hanbin not really one of the people that you look at on the field and are like, okay, well, he's going to play Winston, obviously. That would be more the
Fearless
thing.
yeah.
But we don't have him alongside the team here today. Again, this is just, these guys are just playing under the banner of the Fuel. This isn't
the Fuel Showmatch roster.
Yes, this is the Fuel Showmatch roster. So, you know, understandable that they kind of get smacked a bit there at the very beginning. But we'll see how they fare moving forward into the second map, which I assume we're going to go straight into. I don't think we have.
No, I don't think there's any break.
Yeah, I don't think we have a break until maybe after the third one or something like that. I don't know. We're kind of doing this live, as it turns out. So we'll figure it out as we go along, but hopefully you guys just stick with us and be entertained. I know that we look like we're here to sell you insurance. Not the case. We did request specifically, you know, for the Legends battle. I think it kind of carried over into today. Some nice suits, some you know, maybe some flamboyance thrown in there. We got these, so we wanted to kind of harken back to the days of Apex as well as Contenders with our styling. So this is what we show up in. But we're not here to sell you insurance. The only insurance that we want to sell you is the insurance on your PC and your security. So make sure you guys go ahead and go to eset.com and go ahead and make sure that your PC is secure. But
yeah, why would you spend all that money on a computer and not get Eset to make sure it's safe? What if
Precisely.
something bad happens to your computer?
I tell you what, I'm going to go home and I'm going to get Eset right now because I just rebuilt my PC after having a bunch of issues, and it is currently not protected by anything at all.
Well, that sounds like you need to go to eset.com.
And I will, for sure, once we get home, whenever that is. But here we go. Second map going to be coming up. We're going to go into our open queue map as we have Nimbani on the horizon.
So the rule set is open queue. There is not a enforced lock or hero limit per role. So players could play 5 supports if they wanted to. Technically here, they can play 2 tanks, which, as the history of Overwatch has shown, you know, might be the way to go, because tanks do a lot of damage and got buffed a lot because when you can only play 1 tank, you get a buff. And Sparkle on Doomfist? I still have dreams about this.
I mean, Sparkle on Doom, it's a little bit different, obviously, but we also have Chio on the Hog. So we've got 3 tanks and 2 supports on, whereas Finn is just going to be going.
It's Goats again, Achilles.
Okay.
We figured it out. We do have a Widowmaker, though, for Finn.
Yeah. We've got a DPS, and it's Finn that's piloting it. So I'm curious to see how this one's going to go.
Sparkle's like, no, Doomfist is a DPS I played from the old days.
I mean, if anybody can make it look like it, I'm sure it's going to be Sparkle. Dante as well for a decent shout as far as the Doomfist is concerned. But we'll see how he fares. Finn, in the meantime, he's got himself wrapped around the backside of the points. Just going to be taking some pot shots across over at the Fuel members. Good punch there from Proper. Vinny down to a sliver of HP. Somebody get this man some healing. He's got 22 health and he's just sitting in a bubble right now. Looks like he will get top back up. Max tries to exit, but Fielder manages to strike him down. Finds the kill, and Sparkle will come up with 1 as well. So it's going to be a 2 for 2 at the end of it all. Finn still alive, but I mean, he's going up against nothing but tanks, so kind of good luck. It's going to take multiple headshots to be able to find any kind of kill here.
Yeah, it's not looking like he's going to find an angle at the moment. Seeing what he could do before he drops dead. Speaking of.
Yep. Not much.
Not much.
Was the answer.
That will be the defense, and I would advise on attack unlocked Numbani. Widowmaker, maybe, you know, it's fun to play a little bit. Hey, give it another shot. Hey, maybe he's going to build his ultimate up and then see what he could find. As I like Chio's positioning here. For those who were Overwatch 1 enthusiasts, you know that's where the hog hides. That's where it goes.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I thought you said Cheeto. It just made me giggle. That's going to be the new nickname out of Acet's stream, I suppose.
He's flaming hot.
That he is. Well, drop down, there's a Meteor Strike. Proper looking for some damage, looking for a kill. They will be able to get the Sparkle. Nice little seismic slam, takes down Gurio as well. So 2 members dead. Finn trying to stay alive as the minefield gets dropped in by Heesung. Even though locked away from the point for the moment. Nice little dive into the back. Hanbin going to disappear, and it looks like the shock will finally be able to break open the point as Chio has nowhere to go. It's a nice little hook in, though. Does take down Proper, but should be falling, and he does. And the cap will be coming through with just under 2 minutes left as Sparkle rejoins, dies to a mine. And now you got 420 blazing hot. Cheetos for the side of the shock.
They said Wrecking Ball wasn't that viable in Overwatch 2, man. The mine stops the recontest. It's broken. He doesn't go in. He comes in and just dies instantly. Dallas will have a huge ult advantage here, including the Annihilation that Hanbin is holding. So that could be a huge boon for them to hold around this corner here as Finn tries to get line of sight. Sticking with the Widowmaker still. And, you know, started to get a little bit more value. As we do see, Gurio is going to pop the rush.
Okay, nice shot there from Hanbin. Gets the punch across. Van Haim going to be taken down. Finn as well, falling. Good rush here from Gurio, finding an immense amount of value, and they can go ahead and lock up the cart. And it's still here at the first corner, so not much distance gained at all. As Heesung is just, he's just hanging, dangling from the edge, saying like, maybe they won't notice. But they did.
It's Ramatra Goats is what Dallas is running. It's like a real comp, okay, except it's not allowed normally, but I feel like it's the strongest comp for this meta. Like, if I were running a comp, I'd pick the one Dallas has. They only use the rush, and now they have the Annihilation still. Here's the Meteor Strike.
Let's see. Okay, drops down. So aggressively used here by Sparkle. Not going to find a kill, though, but does force out the sound barrier. Now going to be matched from the opposite side. Both teams shielded up, but again, Hanbin just charging forward, pummeling his way to success. As, well, Proper will be able to find 1 for himself, but it seems like that is still going to be the card very much locked in position.
You just can't kill Hanbin while he's in Annihilation here. He's basically just going to keep leeching that health, and when you're losing a fight like this and Annihilation is still rolling, it's a rough time for San Francisco Shock, and They hold the cart here very well. Although...
Okay. But what if? Then with a headshot, Hanbin taken low, the body shot kills. It's another little headshot tap in onto Chio. He takes a breather. He's going to be able to stay alive at least for a little bit longer here. It will eventually fall, and finally the Shock will be able to go ahead and break through. So it just took about 2 minutes for them to finally breach the defenses here from the Fuel. They start moving, but they're only halfway to point B, so still have their work cut out for them.
You know, Finn doing a great impression of Violet's flex support back when he would swap to Widowmaker and Contenders, you know? 2 O2 players of a different generation, 2 San Francisco Shock players, flex supports from a different generation. I'd love to see Finn picking up the Widow and opening that one up, as Isong's got ult now.
He does, but Hanbin finds Max. A little punish. The armor will still get popped here. And the Annihilation, I always mix those two up, sorry, by Hisung, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get too much done. Gets hooked in. Siphon Slam from Sparkle will go ahead and get the elimination. They also have the whole hog rolling from Chio, just to ensure that this card is not getting into B, at least not yet. Good hook to get the punish. Allows for Vinheim to not exit. The Fuel will go ahead and reestablish control, as Finn says, okay, enough Widowmaker. I'm going to go to the hog as well.
Yeah. I think Sparkle and Hanbin just looked at each other with a smile when they saw the rule set, like there's no hero limits. They were like, so they said we could play goats, but Overwatch 2 goats, like we're gonna do that. We played a lot of that on Elo Mystic, you know, we're pretty good at that. And Sparkle gets to be like, oh, it's Doomfist, but it's a tank now. And Dallas are just running a comp that I think San Francisco Shock eventually has to match, as they do.
Dark punch knocks Vinheim to the side. Sound barrier built up by both of these Lucios, but Fuel is going to be taken down. Vinheim gets the better of him, finds the kill. Chio, though, gets proper as well. So 1 for 1 so far, but no support in the game right now for the side of the Dallas Fuel. Have to wait for Fielder to respawn, rejoin, but now Vinheim does have that sound barrier online, but he's not going to get to use it. Good punish, perfect timing from Sparkle, finds the kill. With 30 seconds remaining, it's looking like point B might be unobtainable here for the side of the Shock.
Yeah, it doesn't look likely that they are going to be able to take this one. They have a lot of great tools to contest, but the old advantage they have, it's certainly possible, but it's going to be a bit staggered how they have to get in here and touch. Max cannot die before he uses that rush, has to hold it.
It was a good shot, though. Got the hit across on the field that takes him down. Now the Kitsune rushes, he TP's in behind, looking to just go ahead and shove away the Dallas Fuel member. Sound barrier in from Vinheim as well. Up into the air, drop down, proper looking for the kill, just keeping Chio pinned in the corner for the time being, but now the whole hog is available. He gets the hook in, proper nearly eliminated, and eventually does end up falling. But still not quite there, though. 0.69 meters left to go, and just as they clear it, they will be able to go ahead and get the cap. Sparkle was the one keeping it contested, and he went up with the Meteor Strike, and that's when the cap comes through. The old Tizzy maneuver, as we like to call it, but this map is not done quite just yet. Shock in another minute and a half into the time bank.
Yeah, that's pretty massive for them. Proper on the Orisa now, and the push here is good. They can push around this corner, and because Ramatra can actually kind of poke away like this, is very annoying to deal with. He becomes a pseudo DPS here and can be very obnoxious, and the cart's just going to keep rolling. They got a 2-man pushing it around this corner, and Dallas Fuel used all they had left to hold. So, you know, in terms of ult economy, it's very even. San Francisco absolutely could finish the map.
Certainly can. Finn now again shifting away, goes back over to the DPS, has the Sojourn to charge things up, swinging very aggressively around the backside. As Chio just goes charging forward here with the Reaper, trying to break down these tanks. That Sparkle causing chaos, spinning that spear, pushing people forward. They should be able to win out the fight. Yep, the Annihilation is going to be able to come up with 1. And now a second as Hisung will fall. So 20 seconds remaining. Vinheim needs to get out of here. He cannot die, and he's going to.
That is really rough. That's a huge stagger. And obviously he's Lucio, so he can speed boost his way back in to get that sound barrier, but somebody else is going to have to touch and then hold on to this. It's probably going to be Finn, who's on the Tracer now.
Just going through the motions, changing up his TPS picks with every little respawn, but drop down Chio, finds proper. Finn going to be eliminated. The sound barrier's there. The Kitsune rush as well, but I don't think there's going to be anything really to be done here.
Blossom.
As Max is trying to keep things contested, but there's the Death Blossom. Vinheim going to be taken down. Hisung does manage to find 1, but the OT is dwindling. It will go ahead and tick down. So, very much winnable here for the side of the Dallas Fuel. Just need to have a successful push, but all of those initial holds, I mean, that 2-minute hold on the first corner after the point A cap was brutal for the Shock. Didn't do them any favors, and they can't quite make it to the end of Numbani.
I just feel like I want to say Dallas Fuel's Showmatch roster here, they certainly had a pretty good read on what would be the best comp to play if this rule set, held true. And they were like, "Yep, we swapped to Orisa when we get to the end because we need we need 2 tanks that could shoot from far. Doomfist could shoot like a little bit far, but not really Orisa far." And so they're like, "Nope, we're gonna swap to Orisa." Then San Francisco Shock had to keep matching the hero swaps there towards the final point. I mean, it's hard to analyze this seriously because obviously this is a very unusual scenario with no locked heroes and stuff like that. But props to Dallas Fuel for kind of figuring out the comp, and I like Finn trying the Widowmaker, but I think definitely costs them a lot of time. See what Dallas Fuel is running here on the defense will actually be Junker Queen. Okay. Can definitely hold the high ground that way. And otherwise looking the same here. And Orisa, rather than running Hog or Doomfist here for proper once again.
I don't think we had this at all during the Legends match, so this is going to be your first little taste of Jungle Queen.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, Wolf, you dodged a bullet, not being in the season.
I skipped the Junker Queen, Matt. I did. I watched it, but I didn't have to cast it.
The Jotes, as everybody like to call. I mean,
here we go.
I got to dodge quite a bit of it, but yep, they're going to go ahead and try to surprise him around the corner, but it's going to be Chio who manages to find first blood with the Junkrat. Takes down Heesung. Still a lot to work through, though. Even though he still has a couple other tanks, but Hanbin's just going to swing in, finds proper, then him going to be taken down, and then this is just a cap on point A. So the forward hold did absolutely nothing. Max is going to fall for a little bit of an additional stagger on the back end, and Hanbin can just swing up, keep everybody locked in place. The Junk Queen can't do a damn thing to really deal with Sparkle here.
Well, it's just really unfortunate for Heesung that he, on this Kiriko, just ran forward right into a Junkrat he didn't know was there because they wanted to surprise dive. And that was the end of him, so it was basically a 5v4 from the outset. And Shio builds only half of the ultimate here on the Junkrat, so Riptire's still a ways away, but it's going to be a massive tool here that they can build early with a massive time bank, too.
Yeah.
Looking very good for them at the moment.
That it is. That he's just got, okay, well, he's going to die. I was going to say thick, tanks to just go ahead and just pummel with those nades, so he should be able to build up that Riptire fairly quickly. I mean, so you get 20% plus just that fight right there. Minefield going to be dropped in by Hanbin, just right onto the cart, trying to keep everybody from the shock locked away, pushed away from this, so they can go ahead and gain some additional distance. Push into the back, Heesung under fire. Looks like maybe he managed to TP out of the very last second, but Fielder finds him in the end. A headshot comes across, finds that kill. Max can get the counter punish though, takes him down with the pummel, now has the ult rolling. To try to keep this cart right on the corner of the bus, and so far it's working a treat for the side of the shock, but HP bars still quite low. Finn going to be taken down. Vinheim needs to get back in here swiftly.
Riptire's ready. Does have a pretty nice angle to use it on too. Probably just wants to hold it right now with the control they have. It's not even necessary. We'll probably use it for the contest.
They have nobody that can really assassinate this Riptire
this is a good
quickly.
spot.
He's going to try to swing it around from the back, drops it down. He's going to find a 2-for-1 special. It's both supports now taken out. Heesung not quite Johnny on the spot with that Suzu. Could have saved their lives, but maybe he was on CD. Either way, they end up falling, and this is a steamroll right now for the Dallas Fuel.
Yep, just running it back. It's just like the first map, except this time it's Dallas who are absolutely controlling. Big need
look at
here,
this,
rather heal deny.
I mean, Finn pops the ult. They will get Hanbin at the end as he bleeds down. He's anti out, but for the most part, the Fuel don't care that he uses that. They're like, sure. That's fine. We're just going to keep pushing. So 5 minutes, 20 seconds, and they only have to go like 20 more meters or so. Max is going to swap over to the Soldier 76. Try to see if he can break down some of these tanks. Sparkle, however, is going to find a Heesung right as the Kitsune Rush comes out. The sound barriers in from Fielder. And Max is getting hounded down, and he just can't escape. So
the observers are like, it's Soldier 76! And it's like, no, it's not.
It's over is what it is. Dallas Fuel will go ahead and pick up a win. So they get absolutely clobbered on our first map of Esperanza, but as we go into Nimbani, they manage to take the win. So that's going to tie things up at 1-1, which means that this is not going to be any 4 Overwatch here today.
No, not today. Definitely a more competitive series potentially here. Second map was vastly more entertaining, let's say. I did enjoy the weird stuff that we just saw, the new iteration of Goats with unlocked heroes and then Finn playing Widowmaker. The Junkrat was the MVP though. Chio was just like, insta-kill, got a Riptire, double kill, it's over, see you later, see you in map 3. Yeah.
I just wasn't sure what was happening, but hey, we're back. Yeah, It's nice to see the answer back here. I'm going to swap my monitors around.
That's all right. That's all right.
Oh, there we go. I got the right button. Just trying to do it without looking. But, yeah, so 2 maps down. I don't remember which mode we have coming up next, though. Off the top of my head, I think I have it written down. Looks like, this is going to be Oasis with our Ramatra fixed mode coming through. So we'll get to see Hanman as well as Max playing the Ramatra. And probably some more normal compositions.
Actual 5v5 game Ramatra fixed. Actual 5v5. Now, we saw a little bit of Ramatra there. And it was pretty back and forth, you know. Yeah. But the map is going to be Oasis, so it's Control, so Ramatra. We keep playing Ramatra on Control, you and me, over here at the WDG studio. So
yeah,
that's the one where he gets a lot of value holding a point for a really long time. So
yeah, if he's got the ult up and you have those long, drawn-out contests coming through as the team is desperately trying to get that flip, but the enemy Ramatra is sitting there with Annihilation. It's just like, well, this ult is just going to last for a year, and there's nothing that we can do unless you just blow him up. So we'll see if they're going to be able to do that. But, yeah, it seems like, I don't know, for whatever reason, Control is what we've landed on for the Ramatra, just to be able to show him off. But
yeah. We are going to take a little break, though, guys.
Are we?
The action's going to stop for a minute.
We are. That indeed is going to happen. So we'll see you guys on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere.
여러분들 쉬는 시간에 잠시 럭키 드로우 시간을 갖도록 하겠습니다. 현장에 계신 팬분들만 누릴 수 있는 특권. 현장 럭키 드로우.
Andy is absorbed in his game? As Andy defends his own little world, Eset defends his privacy and data from online threats and computer viruses. With gamer mode on, Eset Internet Security does its job silently in the background without slowing down Andy's computer. Eset can even identify previously unknown threats and dangers. Go to eset.com and install the best protection for gamers. Eset Internet Security.
And we are back. It's time to carry on with our lovely show match here, the Run Back Series. Shock versus Fuel presented by Eset. And we've already had 2 fun maps taking place with Fuel taking the most recent one. They're on Numbani. Didn't have to go all the way to the end. They had a very successful defense, but now we're going to be going into a bit more of a standard mode. And I should say, for anybody is like, why are they not playing a real 5v5? This is my chat voice. This is what chat sounds like to me in my head. Why are they not playing the 5v5? Why are they not taking it seriously? It's an off-season show match with a roster that isn't even real.
When they say run back, they mean it's like the Grand Finals, but with a twist.
But with a twist.
With a twist.
With a
It's very
twist.
twisted.
But it's just we're here to have some fun. And that's what we're having. That's what you should be having. And if you're not having fun, there's something wrong.
Well, as
with
I
you.
recall, the finals went the distance all the way to the
It
final
did.
map.
It did.
And so maybe we'll run it back 1-1, 1-1, 1-1 until we go to 3-3 and have that final 7th game decider.
Could happen. Could very well happen, especially given the way that things have been looking. I mean, a full push on Esperanza into a successful hold and push from the Fuel. So we're tied up. So maybe it will just be trading blows the whole way throughout. We can only hope that that's going to be the case. But in case you're just joining us, 1-1 the scoreline at the moment, with Fuel getting the most recent win. Now we get ready to go into Control. And I think the only stipulation that we have for this map is that Ramatra has to be played by both sides. So
And
Max and Hunman play.
The other stipulation is, of course, that it's like normal hero locks and stuff like that. So you can only play 2 DPS. Sure. It's just that Ramatra has to be the tank. So Max and Hunman have to play Ramatra. That's the only rule outside of normal pro play. So it's not like they have to play Ramatra, but they can play anything. Like we just saw, it's like has to be Ramatra, and it also has to be 2 DPS and 2 supports.
And I mean, if anybody was watching Numbani and they found that hard to watch, that's why we have roll lock in the game. So thank you, Blizzard, for doing that for a go at this point.
These new Overwatch fans, man, they don't know how good they've got it. We had a whole different thing. You guys never lived through 5 Tracers and a Winston and 6 Diva Stall and 6 Diva Stall. That was a thing. Oh, you're trying to cap B on Hanamura? 6 Divas fly out of the spawn and they're all exploding. And we've seen some stuff in our time.
Phalanx comp all the way back in Apex Season 3, which was what, Ryan Hog Zarya, I think.
Yeah,
Ryan Hog Zarya with like Tracer Genji and like an Ana or something like that in the mix. I mean, there's been some wild stuff throughout the year. So having the roll lock, it avoids having those unideal compositions where the games just don't end. So it's good to see. So we will be going back into some more normal territory. So excited to see how this is going to look while they pilot the watchers in a bit more of a serious fashion. Got to see a little bit of it there, though, on Numbani. I was kind of surprised that they opted into it, given the newness of that hero. But we'll see what they put around it. I think it's probably just going to end up being fairly standard. The Sojourn's probably going to come in, maybe a Tracer Genji, something like that. We'll have to just wait and see.
Yeah, we saw a lot of different variations in the Legends battle last week. So we saw like Pharah with Ramatra, we saw Pharah Mercy, we saw just the standard Reaper comps. We did see some Genji dive, even though you don't have the dive tank with the Ramatra, but it can still work, obviously, and can be very oppressive to deal with. So really just anything goes. My expectation is it'll probably be a Reaper comp of some kind for both teams. Love to see May Reaper, bring it back a little bit. And
could do.
And May Reaper Ramatra sounds pretty busted for Control. Obviously, some parts of Oasis less so because of the verticality of the map and stuff like that, but you never know.
Yeah. We'll see what they put together. Like you said, Oasis is going to be the map. That's already predetermined. So we'll get to see that, and we'll get to see some more Ramachas and see what they're going to be doing around that. But we're kind of fully anticipating that it's still going to be the Kiriko Lucio coming out as far as the supports are concerned. But we don't have to wait too much longer, as we will go ahead and remind you guys as far as the map set and the rules. So after this one, as we are guaranteed at least 5 maps. We'll have Mystery Heroes, and then we'll go into the ban match on Dorado, which we believe that the only ban is Sojourn, so we will not be able to see her at all. And given that it's Dorado, I'm going to be hopeful that we get some more like Widowmaker. We saw Finn playing it a little bit.
Yeah.
So maybe some more proper Widowmaker play.
Yeah, I'd love to see that
out there. So we'll have to just wait and see what they got.
Especially on defense, I think that's viable. But we'll get into that once we get to that map, because we're still on the Ramatra control, and this one's going to be interesting. Obviously, we saw in the previous game, we did see Max and Hanbin both play some Ramatra, and they both seemed to be pretty well versed on it. Obviously, it was a chaotic game. It's hard to really tell, but clearly both of these tank players have played a ton of Ramatra. It's a new hero. Everyone's practicing it, right, and learning it. So I was not disappointed, so I think this will be a good one in terms of the tank matchup. A little bit of Torbjorn flair shown here, just a little flash from Proper.
Surely not. Surely not. But this will be intriguing to see. Is who does end up running the Sojourn on the side of the Shock? Is it going to be Proper? Is it going to be Heesang?
That's a good question. In fact,
so right now Heesang is taking it from him.
That might be why Proper's actually Korean solo queue right now. He's like, if you don't give me Sojourn, I will play Torbjorn and throw the game.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, I'm in a Korean solo queue game.
He just starts jumping off the side of the map and
resetting. And he's like, yeah, okay, that's it. I'm just going to melee him on the way over, too.
He is actually going to be running this. And I wonder if this is, just fully to try to deal with the Ramatra somehow, or if he was expecting for maybe Sparkle to be coming out of here on a Genji, and that's why he's going to be running the Torb. Either way, he's got it locked in, so I'm excited. Team's going to be clashing now here on the high ground as the pummel comes out. Max is just forcing them back down the stairwell. Bionade going to be used by Fielder.
I mean, it's a really nice...
a big difference there in the supports, actually. Just noticed.
Yeah, it's going to be the Brigida, of course, for Gio and the Ana. And the angle here Proper's taken with this barrier and the turret is very obnoxious. But he's dead.
Yes, yeah, it is, but he's going to fall. Max is going to be taken down as well, and we'll see if that's going to be an immediate swap coming through here for the side of the Shock, as Heesang is only able to get a single kill. Nice quick shot from Fielder. Takes down Van Haim before he can exit, and for now it seems like Proper is still going to be running this, so seems like he thinks, maybe this can still deal and, kind of harass out the Tracer a little bit on the flanking angle. Just make sure you have that turret down. But he's going to keep rolling with it.
He's building up a decent amount of ult charge at range here, too. So he will have the ult to recontest, potentially here at sub 50 if he can keep hitting it up. As soon as I say that, he is unable to get any more. But that's the idea, right, with this comp, because getting in position for a turret is so difficult.
Okay, Nano's out. Hanbin's going to be juiced up. He's got the pummel at the ready, and I mean, Proper just doesn't stand a chance. What the hell are you supposed to do here? You got the melee punches coming through. You got the ult rolling, so Hanbin's just going to go ahead and work down everybody as 3 kills come through from the ult. And now he'll go back over to being a shepherd, I guess, is what this staff reminds me of.
Yep.
Just
he
herding
just wards
the players to victory.
Sheep, yeah.
Oh, he doesn't. Does he look left? Okay. Well, he just didn't even acknowledge Finn's existence there.
Yeah, he's like, nah, I'm not interested. Yeah, Finn can just teleport away, assuming that was not on cooldown. Okay, Torbjorn ult ready. Time for Molten Core contest.
Yep, Molten Core going to be dropped in. Proper nearly taken out. As the overclock is there from Gurio. Does take a little bit of damage here from the Flames. Throws down the disrupting shot, of course, on the live patch so that it doesn't slow anymore. Still does a decent amount of damage, though. Heesang now going to be popping his ult as well. Quickly finds 2 kills. Hanbin getting headshot. Gets taken down. And mid-slide gets the sniper to Gurio as well. So nice little turnaround here from the side of the Shock.
And San Francisco Shock fans, welcome to Heesang.
Yep.
Your new DPS player for 2023. Yeah, Torbjorn ult to kind of disrupt the positioning a little bit, and Gurio almost takes Proper out, right? But he survives a little bit longer, and then Heesang overclock. That's all you need. It's done. It's over. And now Sparkle's swapping to Echo.
That he is. Let's see how this fares. I mean, I like the beam to be able to really take down if you can whittle away at Max in that front line. The beam to really just be able to get that execute finish.
Yeah.
Don't mind it at all. And of course, you can have 2 Ramatras. Why the hell not? You build that up so quickly once you have the ult at the ready. But Heesang is going to say no to the Echo. Takes down Sparkle, but Max now going to be falling. Good kill coming through as Gurio also going to be getting involved. Might not be with the overclock, but just the neutral fighting comes in, finds some nice shots. Finn with 1 headshot will get an elimination, but now he's got nowhere to go. And it's going to be a fairly fast flip here for the side of the Fuel, retaking control, only 47% built up for the side of the Shock, and now getting ready to crest 80, so we're moving into final fight territory.
It's really rough here for San Francisco Shock because they have to be the ones attacking with Annihilation, so much more difficult to set that up. They don't have a sound barrier to pair, whereas Fuel have rally armor on top of that, plus they'll have the overclock, and Sparkle should be able to copy Max's Ramatra, as you mentioned, so looking like a done deal for Fuel as long as they could stick the landing here.
Proper, he gets antied out, Chio moves over, they find the elimination, the turret dealt with as well, and that's moments before the Molten Core was going to be coming online. Hanbin now just rolling, there's nothing really the Shock can do from here on out, so they will end up just getting picked off, and it's going to be 100 to 47% on the first round. Garden going the way of the Fuel.
Pretty easy defense there with the ult advantage they had. I really did like the point that you mentioned with the kind of execute damage on the beam for Sparkle to add that extra damage. Adds an extra angle to deal with for San Francisco Shock because obviously it's a flying hero that can, or hovering, whatever you want to call it, that can come in and disrupt from a different angle. I liked how San Francisco Shock tried to use the Torbjorn on the start, but then it felt a little bit forced. Heesung had his moment. Proper's like, right now, he's just like trying to basically big up Heesung. He's like, yeah, like no one will even notice me if I play Torbjorn. It's going to be all about Heesung. But now they're going to play the real DPS. They're going to use a Symmetra for the warp start, teleport start, and then we'll swap, looks like, back to the Tracer.
Yeah, Neko is still going to be coming through here from Sparkle, so keeps that, but now we get to take a look at Proper here on the Sojourn. Kind of cemented himself as, I'd say, the second best that we had in the league last year, only really surpassed by Lip. And Proper himself admitting to that, so Proper fans can't get on my case about it. But we'll see how he fares now today, expecting it's still going to be very well practiced. Nice little dodging there from Finn, not quite going to be clipped here by Sparkle, so does manage to stay alive. Sparkle going to take to the skies, looking for a target.
Yeah, Finn eating just a little bit of damage here, but will be fine. Sparkle, that's rough.
Taken down, but it's going to be blow for blow. A DPS for a DPS, but Fielder lobs in that Bionade, manages to find Proper. Now Chio going to be eliminated as well. Sparkle quickly swaps over to the Tracer now, wants to be able to join in the fight a little bit faster, and also says, well, the Echo not quite going to be cutting it here when I'm playing against Proper on that Sojourn. So does go ahead and swap away. First lockdown to the point, this time going to go the way of the Shock as Hanbin dies in the back end. Fielder as well now going to be falling. Looks like Sparkle with the recall will be able to keep himself safe and alive.
When we cast the Legends battle, you know, the Ana buff and the Sojourn nerf didn't really make a huge impact on that second day, but here you can, I think, really feel that extra heal deny, and Sojourn's lack of mobility really is very punishing right now, and Proper did get knocked out there. Will, of course, survive and hold the point, though. Sparkle swapping over now to the Reaper, but it's a long uphill battle in terms of ult economy here.
Yeah.
Doesn't have anything to chain with that right now. No sound barrier, no speed up, no Kitsune rush. Like, it's going to be rough to get value out of this Reaper unless they can win this fight handedly now, ultless.
Okay, well, it's going to be the Nano out onto Gurio. Does not have the overclock to go with it. Sleep on a Max, however, right as that Annihilation starts coming through. So they put him down in the dirt for a little bit longer there. Annihilation match by Hanbin, throws it out, finds one kill. Gurio getting a second, now third, picked up as Chio. Will take down the tank of the Shocks. Seems like the flip should be coming through here. Little delay tactics out from Heesung, just trying to buy some time, some extra percentage, but eventually will fall to that rail shot. And the flip comes in at 57%.
Good delay here from Shock. They did commit the Annihilation, though, which I think is going to really come back to bite them potentially because the target selection was so good for Fuel that Max couldn't delay that much with it. Heesung doing a little bit there at the end. But now Dallas Fuel actually kind of turned the tables a little bit in terms of that ult economy. They've got their own rally online here. They have defensive setup with Sparkle, soon to have Death Blossom. They need to win this fight, though, or they're going to be in big trouble. But if they can do that, it could be a total flip. And it could be a 2-0 here on this map of Control.
A rally rolling from Vinheim. Chio going to be taken down. They cancel that one out.
No Sparkle.
Anti on a Sparkle. Proper finds both kills. Looks for a little bit more. Gets the headshot. Gets the shot into Gurio as well. And Proper will just go ahead and ace the entire team as the Shock reflip into their favor. Don't even let the Fuel tie it up. They retake the lead.
It's like, all right, I made you look good earlier, Heesung. I was playing the Torbjorn. It was all about you. But now I'm on the Sojourn. It's all about me. And knocking Sparkle out of that fight with the anti-nade was massive because if he survives there and gets a Death Blossom, they can delay it, potentially turn that fight. But now he has to approach the point with Death Blossom, a much more difficult task, especially considering Shocker's so close to finishing and tying this to a 1-1 at 80%. They will also have that defensive Annihilation here in this fight.
Nano about to be online here by Fielder. We'll see who receives that as the Pulse Bomb from Heesung not going to find the kill. Stuck onto the shield, I believe, of Chio. Can't break it in time, so no kill's going to be found. Anti goes down to the Chio for the time being. Ult pop by Max. Chio going to end up getting picked off. Hisung gets around the back, eventually finds his target. Death Blossom, however, going to be dropped in. Sparkle nanoed up. Does manage to find two. Looks for a little bit more. The recall going to be forced out as Hisung tries to stay alive, but Finn is left out the dry here on the point. Ends up getting dropped. Max has got nowhere to go. He's antied, and the flip will come through, so we're not done quite just yet, but still a very long hold necessary for the side of the field if they want to be able to win this and take it as a 2-0.
It's crazy how back and forth the ult economy has been in this second round here. As Sparkle, with the nano boost, barely gets in position, grabs that double. Now Hanbin has the ult advantage. Max used his to try to win the map, or outright, or rather win the round outright, but fails to get the completion there. Now we see a Lucio swap, right? And San Francisco Shock have time, but they don't have the ult efficiency they're going to want to have here. So they'll probably lose one fight here, and they need to take it now.
Rail shot's not really connecting, and Guriel, just gets stepped on. Max goes charging forward with the pummel at the ready, finds the elimination, and the cleanup starts coming through from Proper.
Who needs ults?
Yeah, not necessary. Don't need them. I mean, the nano was thrown in there at some point by Finn, but they will go ahead and clean this up. So City Center going the way of the Shock. Means that we will have to settle things on University to see who is walking away with the win and taking the lead in the series.
Yeah, who needs ultimates? Just going to go in there and knock the enemy DPS out, take out the Sojourn right away. With the Nemesis form, Max just steps on, as you say, the enemy Sojourn, and that's kind of a wrap right then and there. And even with Hanbin's defensive Annihilation, they just don't have the damage anymore. And Annihilation is not a end-all, be-all ultimate when your team is falling apart around you. You need a lot of tools to make sure that you can keep the Ramatra alive. There's extra damage there, and he just ends up basically holding the point inevitably forever while the rest of your team does things, and the rest of the team basically has this handicap. But if you lose one of your DPSs early on the fight because Max makes a sick play, then that could be enough. San Francisco Shock running back the Tracer Sojourn here. Will be Reaper again for Sparkle, however, on this first contest.
Yeah, been him taking a little bit of time to try to figure out exactly what he wanted to run. Did settle on the Brigada at the end. Not going to be going for the Lucio that he was hovering for a little bit of time, and it looks like they're just going to go ahead and clash over on the fuel side of the map. Shots coming across. Fielder just trying to make sure that everybody is nice and topped up. Good Bionade connects from Finn, manages the anti out on 2. Kill's not going to be found though, but it does keep them at an arm's distance now, and Guriel going to be picked off on the flank. Hisung with a nice opening. Now looks to get Fielder as well. Forces him back. Hanbin going to be taken out. And that is the Shock firmly grabbing control here at the point.
The Bionade was massive from Finn, and you could see the range problem that Dallas Fuel has because they're running this Reaper that could just be poked at by the Ramatra that Max is running. Notice how much ult charge Max built up at distance there. And Sparkle getting naded meant that he had to Wraith Walk early, so he just wasn't in the fight, built very little. It's just going to swap straight over the Tracer here. The Reaper comp has failed. You don't get that first cap, feels terrible. It's now going to be mirroring this composition.
Let's see how he fares. Well, that's a good start. Immediately into the action on the Tracer. Finds the kill on the Proper, so very big key target. Max as well getting beaten and battered. Does end up popping the ult though, goes charging forward once again, but now it's going to be antied out. Gets taken down. They're only able to find Chio here in the fight, so Shock going to be losing control. Hisung in his dying breath let loose with that pulse bomb as well, and doesn't find a kill for it. Even if he had, probably would have been enough time for the side of the fuel to reset, so it's going to be a decent little pickup for them as they flip the point. Only 48% in the bank here for the Shock.
Annoying Ramatra spam here in the choke. Barrier goes up, and he's just building up that ultimate. He's got it online now. Very great tool to use to control these choke points. Only having to deal with the flanking rather, Hisung.
Oh, Proper dead again. It looks like Fuel kind of identifying the key member to go ahead and take out, so they will just go ahead and focus fire him. They find the kill. Hanbin is just trying to take down Max, but there's so much heal being pumped into him right now, and Hanbin's going to eventually get taken down. Sparkle unable to find anything with a pulse bomb of his own. Fielder and Chio now under fire, stuck in a bad spot. Will end up getting taken down. It seems like the Shock should be able to just go ahead and regain control once more before the lead can really even be taken here by the side of the fuel. So maybe they make it to 45? No, 44% as the flip comes back through, and Shock will go ahead, grab this point for themselves. I mean, look at the ults.
Fielder is just looking for Proper, man. He's got a grudge or something. Gets that sleep, takes him out. It's a little bit of a stagger here, but even still, San Francisco Shock have a great setup here to defend this point. 4 ultimates nearly online. And it's really, I think, on Sparkle to find another miracle pick. Can they find Proper, get him with a sleep? Hisung, you know, on the side here trying to duel with him to keep him at an arm's length.
Still holds on to the pulse bomb. I thought maybe he was going to drop down, try to pop that onto Hanbin. He does not. Annihilation rolling from Max. Pulse bomb stick comes through. Not going to be able to find the kill, however. Hanbin shrugs that one off.
Isang is lurking around with Vendame here, trying to spot the flank angle.
They found Sparkle down to the Mega Pack. They're going to take him out. Proper now, though. Opens up with the overclock. It's a headshot across. Hanbin falling low, and shot will go ahead and finish him off. Pulse bomb goes in. Proper will end up dying, but things still look very good for the side of the San Francisco Shock. They clean up Sparkle. That's the delay tactics gone, and that should be the OT bleeding get down. So a 2-1 victory on Oasis, as the Shock will go ahead and take the lead now 2-1 as well in the series.
I think that the Shock really identified early on in that third round, like, okay, they're going for Proper. The biggest problem is Sparkle, and I swapped over the Tracer. Let's just isolate him and kill him. And with the defender's advantage on the point itself, they could hold with a man down, chase Sparkle down there and take him out. When he is forced to recall, they just come right back up to the point and win that war of attrition there. San Francisco Shock as a full roster, a full Overwatch League roster right now, looking at the coordination is really starting to come through. I mean, obviously it felt like it was there from the first map, and I think the communication and how they're reacting to what the Fuel are doing here is really quite impressive.
Yeah. Very nicely done. I mean, it was, Fuel, they kind of established, like, okay, yeah, we got to kill Proper. But like you said, they just were able to straighten out my tie. They were able to fix that and keep him protected at the end there. So very nicely done by them. That means we get ready to go into Mystery Heroes. Yeah. So God knows what the hell's about to happen.
Proper was about as protected as you guys at home could be if you go to eset.com.
Good segue.
And
very good segue.
Get your computer protected from all the evil viruses trying to take it over. And I sound like the grandpa. Like, you make sure your computer doesn't have any virus. But no, seriously, ESET. Real gamers use protection for their PCs.
It's true. It's very true. But we're gonna the goal for today is to just kind of dethrone GB with his old T-Mobile throws and everything like that from like all the World Cup stuff. And I think we're on pace. We're doing a good job with these ESET plugs. So hopefully they're happy and they don't hate the way that we're handling this. But either way, it's too late. We're already on the show, so they can't be undone. But we'll carry on as the players get ready to go into our next map. Like we said, Mystery Heroes. So I don't know what's going to happen.
I assume
this is going to be more like Numbani, just wildness, I suppose.
I assume
floodgates get opened.
I assume this will be. Just to be clear, based on the logo, like the actual mode Mystery Heroes, where when you die, you will respawn with a random hero of any role. I assume that is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Mystery Heroes player myself, but if that does happen, staying alive is really important, especially if you roll a tank, because you need to get that ultimate, or if you're a support, get that ultimate. Or if you're like, oh, this comp sucks, like, die as soon as possible and hope you roll a better one.
Yeah.
The map will be, again, another control. It's going to be Busan, so I think that's probably the best map type to do for this, because if you're running, like...
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine, like...
there's a timer on control. I mean, there's obviously a timer on all maps, but like Mystery Heroes on push.
Yeah, or like Rialto.
This for 10 minutes.
Can you imagine Rialto, like that old escort map where you're just running like Mystery Heroes, it just goes forever, and nobody knows what's going on?
Another one that we haven't gotten to see in a while. But Dallas, Burn Blue, the fans out here. There's some Sparkle fans, of course,
Sparkle as well. And world-class Sparkle, just left-click equals team kills, what it says there at the bottom. It's a bunch of hashtags. But, Dallas Fuel fans, I think, are so happy with how the season ended. Dallas's best finish ever, obviously, as champions, but there have been many seasons where it looked promising and then things didn't quite shake out the way people expected, or there were moments, even in the first few seasons of Overwatch League, where it was like people were worried about the roster, then there was this moment where like everyone was like, yes, 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 and then they just kind of disappointed at the end. They call it the cycle of misery, right? But it actually had the happy ending this time, and I think Dallas fans are apprehensive about what the roster will look like next year with some of the announcements of players leaving, but I think the org's got a good coach on its shoulders in Rush, and I have hope that we'll have a great roster next year too for Dallas Fuel.
I would have thought that Shock written in Hangul would have been like Shaw instead of Show.
Nah, Shock has always, like the word Shock has always been Shuk.
Shuk.
Yeah.
Well, T.I.
I don't know why. There were a lot of things before I learned Korean or how to read Korean that I was confused by when people asked me how to spell my name in Korean. I thought it was Wolp instead of Ulp. Because like I was like, well, Wolp sounds closer to wolf.
Oh, I'm right there because some people say sesu, some of them say setu. You know, the th sound is not something that's very common in Korean, as it turns out.
Yeah,
so
we
my
don't
name
have
causes some struggles. I like to say mine is sesu, which is like to wash your face, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's just my name.
Gotta keep that skin clean.
Mm-hmm.
Use your makeup removers. You know, that's what I got some in my bag after this. Don't worry, I got the hookup. You won't have any nasty skin when you get home. And then you got to do the seisu as well when you get home. Clean it, do it twice. Cleansing oil, put the foam on.
Oh, I don't even have any choice. If I come home from a broadcast, my wife is there. She's just like, you have to wash your face right now. I'm like, but I already wiped it at the studio. She's like, wash it. All right, fine.
Yeah, you just get into the habit. Don't want to get in trouble.
Wash my face, and then of course she's like, well, now it's time to moisturize, and puts on like 7 different creams and lotions. I'm like, how do you do this every day?
Hey, who's that?
Oh, we have a sub?
My man, MCD.
I didn't even know that we were doing subs today, but wait, we got one. Feel he's going to be stepping out.
I knew he was here, but I didn't know he would be playing. And
that's clearly Aid, actually.
Yeah. Oh, man. My favorite Rocks Orcas player.
Oh, and we've got Bliss stepping in as well.
Yeah. All right.
A double sub.
I was like, I knew that MCD was here, but I did not know that Bliss was here at all, actually. So that's a bit of a surprise for me. And we'll see how they perform here. So some substitutions coming in.
Is there another, or is Sparkle just using the bathroom? Looks like it was the latter, because there he is.
Yep. It's all good. It's all good. Sparkle actually calls the shots right now. He's like, well, Rush is on holiday, so you guys need to do subs. I need to go to the bathroom real quick. We're not supposed to have a break, but I gotta go.
I am curious if, like, I assume Krusty's here. I'm just curious if he's actually doing any coaching in between these maps. Like,
I wonder. I didn't see him, but that doesn't mean he's not here. He might be, but he also might just be like, I don't want to coach this because I want this to be fun, which was kind of the sentiment of a lot of the players.
Sure. Don't want to, be too serious. But, I mean, what kind of comps is Krusty going to put together for Mystery Heroes?
That itself is a mystery.
What's he going to cook up this time?
It's like, actually, you can't see Krusty because he's under the table, like, hacking the PCs to actually mess with the algorithm in the client so that, like, it just keeps spawning them with Sojourn Tracer, like, Kiriko, Lucio,
Don't know how it's happening,
Doomfist.
but it's happening.
It's like, Doomfist dies, like, he's like, what? Hamon's like, I'm Doomfist again. Like, I thought it was Mystery Heroes.
Why do I keep getting Mercy? Like on the other side.
Yeah, the other side.
Sparkle's just always getting, like, supports and whatnot.
It's just 6 mercies. It's like, wait, that's really the chances of that. Like, somebody's calculating, like, what were the chances of, like, only spawning mercy? I actually think you can't spawn the same hero twice in Mystery Heroes either. I don't think that's.
I don't think you can do it back to back.
I
think it stops you from being able to do that. But you can loop back around at some
Yes.
point if you're just dying consistently. I've learned this a lot. I played a lot of Mystery Heroes in the last couple of weeks while I was trying to fix my PC issues. It's like, okay, well, I need to play a game of Overwatch to see if my graphics card continues to crash, and it did. And then that's also how I found out that you can get punished from by getting disconnected out of arcade and quick play games.
Well, if you had Eset on your PC, maybe it wouldn't have happened.
I don't know if Eset stops my RAM sticks from screwing up, but if it does, I mean, hey, maybe it does. It's a great service.
When I go to bed, when I lock the door before I go to sleep, I make sure my Eset is running. Like, just make sure that
it's like locking your front door in your house.
Yeah, exactly.
But for your computer.
Lock your door, brush your teeth, make sure Eset's running on your PC. That's the checklist.
Death, taxes, and Eset running.
Yeah.
These are the constants in my life.
I'm a completely new person since I went to eset.com. We love you guys. Thank you for sponsoring this event.
Yes, seriously.
I'm sorry we're teasing this a lot, but we do want to make sure that people check it out because this event would not be possible without you.
Well, there is a sign for Krusty. So maybe he is here.
Yeah, I like. It would be weird if he wasn't, right? Because he's been so involved in the San Francisco Shock since the beginning, really, since the early days. not the very beginning, but shortly after the very beginning. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's going to do with this roster too, because Proper and Heesung are a DPS duo that I think are not fully, like, obviously Proper, we saw his full potential, like, but there is even still more now that he's got Heesung alongside of him. And Max, I think it will probably need some tuning in this role, unless they sign a second tank or something like that. But it'll be a fun year for San Francisco Shock fans, I think. Very competitive roster. Though we don't know that much about what the Overwatch League sphere is looking like right now, but of rosters fully revealed, #1 team so far.
Yeah. It's looking great. It's gonna crush it.
So if you guys do type Winton in the chat, you get that's how these codes keep coming through. And
We think. We don't fully understand.
it's funny how, like, when exclamation mark token doesn't actually work, everyone spams it, but when, like, typing Winton in the chat supposedly actually works, people just don't do it. It's crazy, man.
It's a very blurred line between irony and then, like, seriously typing those things when it comes down to trying to get tokens and whatnot.
Yeah, I find myself,
and I don't understand either side. Really.
I find myself wondering.
The joke is dated.
Yeah, I find myself wondering when I see exclamation mark token in the chat, how many percentage is doing it ironically, and how many percentage actually thinks it might get them more tokens? And, like, it's just one of the great questions that keeps me up at night.
It's difficult to really nail down a figure on that one. You just know that everybody who's doing it is out of their mind. That's about it. But of course, you mentioned Winton, so I'm sure the chat's going to be going absolutely crazy over that at the moment. I'm not even sure where this one came from. It just kind of popped up one day.
Yeah.
It's just like a thing that appeared.
I usually don't
now
watch.
Everyone's saying that. I mean, we have the Winton Leap, Winton Zap, Winton Alt, Winton Nap one as well, which was a nice little.
That's very good.
Yeah, a good little copy pasta. I like that little rhyme. And that also birthed my idea, which, again, Blizzard devs and like skin designers, you can have it for free. Pajama Party Winston skin. Make it happen.
Actually smart.
Anna sleeps him, and he hits the ground, and he's got a pillow that he's cuddled up with, and he's just, like, sleeping on the floor.
You can't be telling them this, man.
It'll make millions, Blizzard.
You gotta go to the actual board meeting. You gotta call up all the board and be like, guys, I am gonna change this company.
Want people to buy some more battle passes? Make that the level 80 mythic skin. Pajama Party Winston. It'll sell like hotcakes.
His pajamas have peanut butter and bananas on it, and it's perfect. Yeah, the Winton spam, I really like it for some reason. I don't know why, because it's just so innocent in its ways. It doesn't like, it's not mean spirited. It's just a meme. You love it.
Yeah.
And now we get the emojis coming in the chat. I love it. I don't usually have chat open when I'm watching Overwatch League because I watch it on my TV, like full screened. But it's been fun to kind of interact with chat a little bit today. And we did the other match last week, the Legends Battle.
It's a bit more loose. We can play off the cuff here and have a little bit more fun with it. So we will sometimes have our eyes and on you guys and see exactly what's going on there. But I think we can kind of expect exactly what's going to happen in the chat at any given moment. It's going to be a lot of Winton and gorilla emojis and stuff like that. Some this will protect us and yada, yada, yada. Looks like, though, our substitutions should be pretty much squared away as MCD and Bliss have stepped in case you just recently tuned in or you tapped back over, whichever it may be. So they have joined the Fuel here on stage as we get ready to go into Mystery Heroes. So I guess Fuel, they were saying, like, I just don't want to play that game mode. So I'm gonna take a break.
Yeah, Fielder's like, MCD, this one's on you. Show them what you got. Show your versatility.
Get in there, champ.
So as mentioned, this is our fourth map and fourth map type, Mystery Heroes. It will be played on Busan.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 controls back to back.
Could very well be the Shock taking this one to series point. If they can get the win, Fuel going to be looking for that to tie us up yet again, which would at least take us to 6. So we'll see just how far this one goes. The players themselves were saying, like, we want to go to 7. So,
we're in it.
We're in it. We're in the thick of things. Point going to be locking in 12 seconds, and hey, look at that. Hanbin's going to be dead. So, as, again, Mr. Heroes comes through, Proper, he drew the short straw, so he's got mercy.
Hey, but he can pocket Farah with this.
This is true.
It's kind of lucky. It's
they
a lucky
at least have
one.
something that he's not doing that, but okay, now he is. For a second, he was not. So, yeah, this is actually maybe a blessing, but never mind. Bliss is going to go ahead and take him down.
Max is like, man, no, I just can't play the Farah. We're going to have to hold on to this point somehow with this weird full DPS comp. Okay, Proper rolled the tank.
Well,
technically.
And Sparkle able to find Viname. Takes him down with the Wrecking Ball. Looks to go ahead and get this cap away from the Shock. He's like, oh, he's got a 4 HP. But, okay, yeah, I was going to say, he stays alive, but then Sparkle comes rolling through, finds that kill, but they still haven't gotten this flip. And the Tracer kind of distracting them there in that moment. Sparkle now going to get picked off as well as Finn finds the kill. I mean, kind of overall decent stuff drawn here for the side of the Shock. They had the Pharmacy comp to begin. Finn has the Sombra to counteract against the Wrecking Ball. And Proper now makes use of that Doom Fist before dying. Gets the punch, sending Hanbin off the side of the map.
Hey.
Getting ready to come through. Never mind, they have it. Shock looking to retake this one as Proper's now going to be coming back on yet another tank. Now has the Sigma.
Yeah, we got Mei in here too. I haven't cast that hero since Zoe's Cat banned it from the Overwatch League, so glad to see it back.
There you go.
Up to 60% of that ult charge too. Really nice ult to use actually in this crazy chaotic world where we have 2 Orisas.
Oh, Heesung knows. Heesung just swinging the corner. He's like, I know that there's a Tracer over here. So found MCD. Which
Reinhardt.
I think MCD might have the first ult of the game. This as far as I could tell. So Pulse is at the ready.
Yeah, let's see where he can find an angle to lob, but he's just kind of hovering, keeping the back of Reinhardt safe for Sparkle's trying to hold down the fort, not get hacked.
Oh, Finn getting jumped on. TP's away. There's the stick. Looks for the kill here on a Vinhame. Not able to get too much damage done, though, but Vinhame kind of botches the jump. Does manage to Goombas down Bliss on his way back down, but ends up falling to Sparkle, who now has a Reinhardt. Hanbin going to be taken down by
9
Heesung.
health. Oh, just drop the Blizzard, man. Don't die.
Is so low. EMP going to be coming through. Heesung cleaning up house. Finds 3 quick kills, and Shock look like they might just be able to take this round.
We'll get a little bit of damage done to Gurio there with the Blizzard. Gurio's down. We'll see what he respawns with. Junkrat for Sparkle. That's an old favorite of his, so that sounds fun, as we do have a Bastion on the scene.
Uh-oh.
That's why Bliss was subbed in. Secret
So
support Bastion tech.
Fantastic. Well, let's see if we can get anything done with this. Having a Sigma on the opposite side is certainly going to gum up the works a little bit for the Bastion. He's going to get leapt on, gets taken down, so we won't get to see it too much. I think Finn has been on the Sombra the entire game. Maybe he died once at the very beginning, but otherwise it seems like he's just been able to stay alive this entire time and find some value and impact for his squad. And with Gurio getting taken out, I think that should just about be it. Quick touch from Hanbin, has to recall away, gets stunned by the accretion, ends up dying, and that is going to be Sanctuary taken by the side of the Shock. And let me tell you, this is not the easiest mode to cast.
No, it's not. And let me tell you, like, the reason why I haven't done really any analysis is because A, it's been crazy chaotic, and I'm just letting Seth do the play-by-play. Achilles over here just doing that.
Analyze.
And then I'm like, yeah, so, you know, Sparkle rolled a few of his favorites, but it wasn't enough. Hanbin got Tracer, which is also, like, just, you know, he got it there at the end, but he's a tank player, you know, and so, it's not that great. In San Francisco Shock from the outset, they had the Farah Mercy, and so that gave him a nice lead because of the synergy, except they didn't use it well. Nah, I'm not going to pretend. It's Mystery Heroes. Let's have fun.
All right, well, no supports to the side of the fuel, but they do have 2 tanks. Shock, no tanks, with Finn there on the Brigitte, so we'll have at least some
Symmetra?
healing. They do have a Symmetra. We've also got Bastion v Bastion, which could prove to be a bit painful, though, because MCD on that Farah could certainly...
I mean, low-key, San Francisco Shock feels pretty good.
Well, Gurio's going to get the kill here. As Proper dies, both Bastions instantly dealt with. This is why you still pick Bastion, folks. But Sparkle could get beamed down. And
like, Max is going to carry this, dude.
Max is juiced right now.
I mean, Proper, they have 2 Torbjorns and a Symmetra who's charging half of the ult. I'm like, how does Dallas win this? Like, this is going to be tough, man. They also are running with a Reinhardt. Good luck with that one.
They still don't have a support. They haven't rolled any supports
no heals.
at all.
Finn's like, I can heal this Symmetra. She's at full health anyways. They got 2 Torbjorns. Okay, 1 now, as Vindame does fall, but Sebastian's still good with the comp.
Okay, Gurio finally does roll a support for them as they get the Baptiste, but Sparkle's going to be taken down. MCD has been trying his damnedest to do something to get some kills through. I think he's found one.
Max, don't die. Not worth it, man. Don't die. Hold on to that Symmetra. That's the crux of this composition. Yeah. Don't die.
You need that barrier.
You don't know what's out there, man. A Widowmaker could be out there. You just don't know. It's a mystery.
Uh-oh. Oh, Finn gets caught, taken down. Gurio trying to build up towards that Amp Matrix, which, I feel like with the Bastion and the Amp Matrix, maybe Bastion then becomes a little bit more viable. We'll have to just wait and see if it does come to fruition. But the barrier is out from Max, just trying to keep everybody protected, and well, we won't get to see the Bastion because Sparkle dies.
Max died. That was I was really enjoying the Symmetra. Well, see it next year, maybe.
Yep.
Maybe.
Into the ice block. Blizz trying to stay alive. Blizzard nearly available. Vinheim going to be taken down. Heesung as well going to be finished off. So now they lose out on the Diva. Point, however, still held here for the side of the Shock at 44%. And Blizz will make his way over to try to get this cap going for him. Oh, the bubble.
Oh, the bubble!
It protects the turret for a little bit longer. And Max, okay, well, he finds Gurio, and then it looks like he went onto the train track. So I'm not quite sure exactly what happened there. As Sparkle has rolled Reinhardt twice now. And the Molten Core from Proper, in his dying breath, manages to find an elimination. Shock still holding on to the point as the pin not going to come to fruition. Doesn't find a kill, ends up getting taken down. Gurio with a bouncing nade will find Vinheim, however. Trying to get back, but again...
Give me that Overwatch League minimap so I can tell what's happening.
Yeah. Where is anyone? What are they playing? What is my life? Why are there so many Bastions in this mode? They just keep coming out. And
he
fuel...
might get a Flux. Like, it could actually happen.
I mean, the fuel need to get on to the point is what needs to happen.
Yeah, they won like 2 team fights, but haven't been able to recap.
Yeah. Okay, 3 kills. Surely now they get the flip. 92% ticking up.
You would hope so. Here it comes.
Okay.
Heesung actually survives, so we'll have a Flux for the potential retake. It's weird to talk about ult economy and things like that in this mode, but
yes, the ult economy of
he's going to have a Moira,
heroes.
too, behind him, if you guys remember that hero exists still. Debatable that she exists, but anyways, in this case, she has been rolled by Vinheim, so he's a support player, and Heesung should be able to get a Flux off here.
Ooh.
Here it is.
Sparkle just trying to hold the high ground, and it looks like it's just going to be a solo Flux onto him, and he will die. Not much else to be done there. It's Proper comes back, has the Junkrat, and oh my god, just instantly starts ripping them to shreds, ends up getting picked off, but did a hell of a lot of work here for his squad. As it looks like Heesung, I mean, they're playing around with it. Like, yeah, we could flip it, but we won't.
Crowd pleasers,
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen. This team is going places, all right?
They're like, you know what? Let's go to Mecha Base, actually.
They want Finn to get a big double kill or something on this Cassidy, on the Deadeye. All right, all right, all right. 99 to 99, run it back, you know.
Oh my god.
This is like the first instance of Overwatch League players with like real BM with control. I've never seen this before, actually. This is like the Overwatch equivalent of a Manor Nexus in like StarCraft 2 or something.
Match fixing in my Mystery Heroes? What is this? Unbelievable. Simply unacceptable.
Call Kespa!
Yeah. Let me report this to Sean Miller immediately. This is definitely against the code of ethics of the Overwatch League.
Before Shock actually lose this, though?
They might. They might just go to Mecha Base.
Heesung has ult. This is very awkward.
Okay, well,
gets only one.
He's trying for it. The drop's not going to get the kill. Heesung's still incredibly low, and they have nobody to heal him there. And I think it's going to Mecha Base. Unless Max can do something incredible with the Echo. They're looking for the flip now. OT at least going to be forced out, but they quickly get dealt with. The OT will start bleeding away, and I don't think anybody can touch. We're going to Mecha Base.
This is what we like to call in the industry some happy gaming.
Yes. Yes, it is. It's a little bit silly.
I think that is the official esports term these days, is happy gaming, where it is for fun only, and everyone is enjoying it, and I enjoyed it too. I liked it when San Francisco Shock BM'd Dallas Fuel a little bit, but then were unsuccessful at winning the round, and now we're going the full distance of Mystery Heroes.
That we are. As deep as we could possibly go. So, let's see. All right. We've got, somehow Fuel rolled double Ramatra.
That seems like it shouldn't be allowed.
How in the hell?
It's
okay.
mecha base also, so it's like, wait. This is actually not fair. And they also have Orisa and Junkrat and Symmetra. Like, how did Dallas Fuel lose this?
Okay.
Let's find out.
Yeah, let's watch. Well, that's a good start for them losing it, I suppose. So Gurio going to be taking down. I mean, that's a lion's share of the damage to try to really deal with the tanks. I also didn't notice the double Doom Fist here for the side of the Shock, I suppose. And yeah, Max and Finn going to be able to clean up some kills in the back end, and just like that, they went from double Ramacha into double Mercy. Just damage burst each other.
Oh no. I don't even know, like, if two Mercies can heal the same target. They can't, right?
Finn,
like, I've never even thought about that before. Like,
Finn clearly just didn't want to
no,
play.
you can. They can double beam the soldier. Carry! Carry, Sparkle, carry!
So one beams, and then one heals. They just keep him boosted and juiced at the same time. Swap into the pistols, just trying to go ahead and kill proper. They will. Oh my god, it's actually broken.
Mystery Heroes is educational.
Oh, maybe Finn didn't want to get off Junker Queen and he actually disconnected.
Yeah, I hope not.
It's hard to say.
Educational. Today I learned you can double beam someone if two Mercies are allowed. So I guess because of Echo's existence, like, I probably should have known this interaction before, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe they're like, yo, two beams, I'm calling a pause.
Unless, like, a Mercy dives in front of you, you're never intentionally duping a Mercy, though, as an Echo.
Yeah, I know.
But
I'm just like, well,
of course we haven't seen that interaction.
I don't know. I'm just like, for some reason in my head, I'm like, I guess that means now that, like, is double Discord Orb possible? Is double Harmony Orb possible? Like, how does that stack? Like, how does that work?
Oh, boy. I love how this went from, like, it's silly, they're going to intentionally go to back of base, to, like, now I'm really invested because of this double Mercy nonsense. Oh, boy.
Yeah, when the pause happened, I think all three of them were still alive. Sparkle and the two Mercy players. I think one of them was Gurio. I can't remember who the other Mercy player was.
Can we have everybody else in the team die other than Sparkle, because he's the pocket target, like, but everybody else die until they have Mercy, and then we just have 4 Mercies and a soldier.
Aww.
It was short-lived.
But what about double pocket on the Genji though? Okay,
hey, with Sparkle in, I'll accept it.
Well, it's Bliss who's playing it, but if it was Sparkle who rolled Genji, that would have been pretty insane. That used to be a strat. Remember that point A Numbani, where you actually pocket the Genji for the blade push, and you just try to build the blade?
Same thing on Temple of Anubis. Shout-outs to 2CP maps. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
We miss you, King. But, yeah.
You said that live on TV, Achilles?
I did.
Someone's coming for you.
Oh, no. As it turns out, Assault was a pretty good map type.
I liked it.
I liked it.
But
we also liked Ghosts, so let's just show
we
some
have the
kind
controversial opinions here.
Masochist casters. But you know, like we were mentioning, that was like the common strat back in that time. Just damage boost the Genji, go charging forward, try to build up for that blade as quickly as possible. So yeah, I mean, would be neat to see. But for now, I'm more inclined to just continue to watch the double beam on Sparkle Soldier.
Someone did mention in the chat that you can't actually stack Discord or Harmony Orbs. So you can apparently double beam though. Unless you can do one healing and one damage boost, I believe. But you can't. You're not going to get double the healing throughput if you're holding on to that. So. Yeah, because it's basically coded as like a buff, and you get like a 1 or a 0. Do you have the Harmony Orb or not? Same for Discord Orb. It might show an animation of 2 orbs floating, maybe, but I don't think it would actually stack the damage or healing. That makes sense.
Well, looks like Finn is still having some issues, so hopefully we can get that taken care of, and then we'll get back into this.
It might be like
incredibly tense Mystery Heroes showdown.
He didn't seem to disconnect, like his hero was still in game. Obviously, we saw his model just get gunned down by Mercy Pistol, but maybe that like his mouse isn't working properly or his keyboard. We don't have any updates on it yet, but if we get any, we will let you guys at home know.
Yep. But yeah, hopefully we can get things underway here in just a little bit. But of course, it wouldn't be an Achilles and Wolf casting day if we didn't have a tech pause.
You know, the most nervous Overwatch cast I think I did after Apex, because in Apex I was always nervous. I was like, oh god, like this game is new and I really like it and I don't want to mess this opportunity up that OGN gave me. I think the most nervous cast I ever did was when you and I, when we first joined the Overwatch League, we cast a Showmatch. And I was like, I don't know how. I was like, I don't know how to cast for fun in Overwatch. I only cast for serious. And I was like, really awkward about it. I wanted to make sure everybody knows I did a good job. So I want to analyze, but I'm like, we can't analyze. I think there was actually some mystery heroes in that as well.
I forgot that we did that.
I think that's the only other time I've cast mystery heroes.
You're right. That was we did make our debut by casting a Showmatch.
I don't even remember who was playing in it, to be honest.
Nor do I. I don't remember anything about that. But I remember that that was a thing. I think they also didn't we have a ZP and a Vast at that time? I know that they were in Cali.
Yeah, they were there, I think, but I don't think they cast with us, did they? There was like a whole preseason like meme thing that we did, but that that was in 2018. That was before we came, and then 2019 we cast like the one thing that happened. I thought, but maybe I'm remembering.
They might have just been out there to see the start of the season. I don't remember. Either way, I miss those boys.
Yeah.
I did get to, fortunately, obviously see a Vast somewhat more recently, given that he made the incredibly long journey to come over from our wedding, which I will be eternally grateful for. But we got to catch up with good old ZP, the Z Pringle, see what he's up to.
Yeah. Zucchini Panini.
The Zucchini Panini. But seems like the stuff's going on, so you guys get stuck with our little podcast here for a little bit longer, I suppose.
Said you came to see Dallas from Toronto. So came all the way from Toronto to see Dallas.
Wow.
That is some real passion. So imagine being from Toronto and then flying to Korea to see the Dallas Fuel. What a cool global world we live in.
I wonder if they have flown to see them in other things, or if this is like the first time that they're actually seeing some of the players live. Because that would be odd. But hey, Korea is lovely this time of year. I mean, it's cold, but it's still lovely. So if you've ever been thinking about taking a trip, come on out.
Yeah.
Yeah, have fun. You can see some games live when they happen, which I guess won't be for a while. I actually don't know when Contender starts up again.
That sign, the scrolling size of Dallas is going to win. This person had this sign prepared very quickly after the announcement of Max.
Yeah, I think they made it here at the studio.
Yeah.
So nice effort. They even have like the little shock waves from the logo at the very bottom.
Yeah, and then the A. The A has the little like lightning bolt in it. The F has a lightning bolt as well.
So it does.
Very clever, very clever. Love to see the creative signs. It's been a while since you and I have done the Korean fan sign meta. We did a little bit, and we had some pauses last week. But
yeah. But this used to be our lives on the regular during the Contenders Day.
Oh, it says
like, oh, there's nothing else to talk about. I guess we'll just talk about fan signs.
The Del for Dallas is Law for Lovely Dealer, aka Lovely DPS, and then the S for Sparkle on the right side there. Dallas is Lovely DPS Sparkle.
Very nicely done.
He's very lovely, isn't he?
That he is.
Yeah, you mentioned it to me in the makeup room we talked about earlier. Seeing Sparkle like all grown up in person was it's really touching, you know?
What is going on here?
Smurf!
Oh, well, very good. So we've got a Smurf, but there's also a Shock Pepe holding money that says Sungni, which means victory. So I guess it's take my victory, but also they feel sad about it.
I'm trying to, like, I think what maybe it's implying is like, we gotta pay to get Smurf back so we can win. I'm like, no, it's okay. Like, I think Max is doing fine.
Max is doing a pretty good job.
We do miss Smurf. We do miss Super. It would have been really fun if could have been here, but he's not on the roster, so it doesn't make sense. But just shout outs to Super, one of the legends of the Overwatch League.
Yep.
Former Shock player.
Oh, is that Violet?
It looks
we
like
got
him.
Smurf, yeah, Violet's still in there.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you get some familiar faces there in the audience watching.
If there was somebody else behind that sign too, it might have been a player. Couldn't tell clearly enough though.
Of course, there's a fan little meet and greet that's going to be happening after this for everybody who's live in the studio, so they'll get to go ahead and meet up with some of those legends of the Shock rosters of old, and get to have their signs signed and whatnot.
This
don't have Baby Bay though. They didn't bring him.
This sign is just like Heesang is going to get another trophy this time in the league. The term, for those of you guys who don't know, for Overwatch League, because it's very long in Korean because it's a syllable-based language.
Yeah.
It's very hard to say Overwatch League. It's very long, so people just call Overwatch League. So if you ever hear someone like translating or something, they say like, "Oh, he went to the league," they mean like he went to Overwatch League. It's obviously pretty clear there, but just
because the other one they just called LOL.
Yeah, exactly. But if you ever hear that term league in Overwatch, it means Overwatch League, which you might not have known, but a little trivia for you guys. But it looks like I don't want to jinx it, but we can back in. It also may be a restart of the map. Like, I don't know.
Oh, that would just be actually terrible.
No, give me the double mercy.
Yeah, give me my.
Yes!
Hey, we got the double mercy. And
Don't burn down Sparkle. All right.
Okay, keep him alive. You don't let him die.
No!
Oh, Hanbin. Okay, he stayed alive. I love how we are just fully invested in this now.
Double mercy, ride or die.
Okay, Bliss diving in, he's trying to find the eliminations, and oh no!
Vindame! No, you ruined it.
Damn it! All right, well, let's see what happens. Sparkle waiting to respawn. He's going to come back on a Sombra. Hanbin rolls a Tracer again. As Bliss is trying to get this kill onto Heesang, and it's actually going to be Gurio who's swooping forward, finds the melee hit to get the kill. Dash across, the blade nearly at the ready. Bliss needs to keep himself safe. They're starting to push in on him.
He needs a health pack badly.
Yeah, still going to be low. Looks like he might have eluded the rest of the shock for now.
No supports to heal him up right now.
Hanbin taken down. Still no supports as Gurio comes back on the Echo. We'll see what Hanbin rolls this time around. Double Sombra. Not nearly as good as the double mercy meta though.
Not as good as it used to be. Like if it was old Sombra, that'd be pretty broken. But
Crawford just putting the fist up, tries to keep himself safe. Blade is pulled. Oh, the push away from Max is just beautiful. And Bliss is gonna die. Blade not gonna be able to find anything at all. Shock still holding 63% now. As they're gonna just start cleaning up house. It seems
they got a sound barrier, which is not fair. A Kitsune rush and self-destruct for delay. And Meteor Strike for delay? I'm like, wait a minute, they're not allowed to have like a full set of ultimates, right? That's not allowed. It's mystery heroes.
Yeah, I mean,
somebody waste one of those. Samus Shock, it's supposed to be fun. Remember when it was fun in the second round? Are they going to let him have it again, or are they just going to let it go?
For a second, I thought that they were going to. But yeah, I mean, nearly the rally as well. So 5 ult's about to be here for the side of the Shock, but it might not matter if the fuel can't even touch the point. One of the EMPs goes out. Sparkle just trying to turn the tides of the fight, but the sound barrier is there in response. Point currently being contested. One would assume by MCD. Looks like he is forced to translocate away. Self-destruct comes in. Touch on the point. MCD's dead. OT forced out for a little bit longer. As Hanbin tries to make his way over, and Finn is just emoting. He's like, yeah, I don't need the remech. I'm just going to stay in pilot form. Why not?
Now he does remech.
Okay. Oh, proper. Dead. Have they flown too close to the sun? Is this the turning of the tides? No, it's not. It's 132% closeout as we will finally get the conclusion here of our Mystery Heroes map, and that is going to be the Shock going ahead and getting the win.
Might as well have shown play of the game at this point. I thought for a second we were going to see it. Very fun match. My favorite part was the double mercy.
Yes.
My least favorite part was when Vindame ended the double mercy.
I thought you were going to say when the pause happened, but that actually is worse. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Vindame.
I would have waited for a full hour of pausing if it meant that the double mercy survived a little bit longer. But
it's true.
Vendame's sound barrier actually, he survived on that Lucio for long enough to get it. Actually countered the EMP like it was a real game. That was cool.
Yeah.
Double hack, but he still gets the barrier off, and it's well played.
Well, I think we're going to maybe have another break.
I believe so. That was the 5th set, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Well,
no, 4th. So yeah, I think there is a break actually.
Yeah, so I think we'll have another little quick break, and then after that, we are at match point. So that means that the Shock potentially can close things out, because coming up next is the ban map, where Sojourn is basically unable to be played, but everything else is up for grabs. I don't remember which map that is. Dorado. That's right. Yeah, because I was talking about Widowmaker. Maybe we'll get some Widow.
Maybe some Ashe?
We didn't have a single Widowmaker during that Mystery Heroes, did we?
Not that I remember.
That's weird.
Was it banned secretly? Krusty, what did you do? Yeah, that is odd. Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, we'll see what happens and what the comps are gonna look like, what they're gonna piece together, because we did get to see a good amount of proper playing Sojourn earlier on, as well as Heesung. But yes, confirmed. We are in fact going to go to a break, so don't go anywhere, guys. We'll have some highlights for you there from Mystery Heroes, and we'll see you guys on the other side of this and get ready to go into what could be the last map of the set.
Andy is absorbed in his game? As Andy defends his own little world, Eset defends his privacy and data from online threats and computer viruses. With gamer mode on, Eset Internet Security does its job silently in the background without slowing down Andy's computer. Eset can even identify previously unknown threats and dangers. Go to eset.com and install the best protection for gamers. Eset Internet Security.
And we are back. Match point locked in here for the side of the San Francisco Shock. And we'll get to see if they can finish the job and end the series, or if the Fuel will be able to fire back once more, as I do believe we've had some additional substitutions, if my eyes don't deceive me. I think I saw Fielder making his way back over to the stage. This is going to be our ban map. So each team gets to ban a hero.
Yeah.
And we thought it was just Sojourn, but apparently not. I think we'll have a graphic probably coming up, but otherwise we'll talk you through it as we get ready to go into the game.
So it's otherwise going to be the same rules as Pro Play, as far as I know. And yeah, that's what it says. So it's going to be Dorado, as you mentioned. So
Widowmaker,
maybe some Ashe would be fun, but Widowmaker is definitely much stronger. I would say at this point in time, we'll see. Look, it's a happy gaming moment potentially for both teams, because I love casting Sojourn because I've only done it like for 2 days of casting so far, and now a third. So I'm not as over it as I think the community has been for a long time. So for me, I'm like, yeah, this is really cool. Like Overwatch 2 is awesome. I think a lot of people are a little bit ready to move on. So with Sojourn banned on this map, like we'll see some more open DPS pools.
Yeah.
Might be a Reaper comp. I doubt it because Dorado's first point, but like it's possible. I hope Widow.
Once you get to that initial underpass and kind of into the market area, the Reaper can find some value, but I'm hoping for some Widowmaker showdowns, maybe some nice little agreements made between the teams and the players. But there you go. It is Kiriko who is also banned alongside the Sojourn. Look at that, they got hacked out of the game.
Yep.
But if you don't want to get hacked, then get Eset and protect your computer from viruses and all of that other nasty stuff.
You put it on gaming mode, you don't even know it's there.
Put it in gaming mode, runs in the background, keeps you all protected. So when you go into, especially like custom maps and some other games and you have to download assets, make sure that nothing gets root access to your PC.
So officially Fuel banned Sojourn, just for context, and Shock banned Kiriko. We were told at first it was only Sojourn, so maybe they both banned Sojourn and they were like, all right, you get a free extra one because both banned Sojourn. I don't know for sure, but we know those heroes are not eligible for play here on Dorado.
Yeah, and I can't help but think that the ban on the Kiriko from Shock was actually I was wrong. Fielder didn't come back in. But they just didn't want to. They just don't want to have to deal with it. They're like, yeah, we know that we're going to be playing a hell of a lot of this in the future when we get into the season, unless she undergoes like some significant nerfs. So let's just opt out of it now. Let's enjoy the Kiriko-less comps while we can.
Ashe, it's happening. Some dynamite value right there at the entrance, like it's the old days.
Shout out to Doa, Dynamiter.
Some good Dynamiter.
Some good Dynamiter.
That's an old reference.
We saw the Widow for a brief little second, but it's actually going to be proper moving over to the Genji. And he's going to die. Going to find the kill, and Sparkle with a Genji as well. Always a treat to watch. We'll be able to get involved Helps set up for a kill onto Finn after taking out Vinaim, and that is going to be the Shock kind of having the doors slammed in their faces from the outset.
Yeah. And good start here for the Fuel. Sombra Genji comp here for San Francisco Shock can be quite good, especially again into D.Va. You can burst that D.Va down with the hack, but hard to get into range of the D.Va.
Let him out on the proper. He's going to be okay. Dashes up onto the high grounds, instantly greeted with the bio nades, trying to find Goryeo, but does manage to slink his way out of the window just in time to stay safe. Now Max under fire, hits the low ground, goes up to recontest. And for now, it's just going to be fairly neutral fighting, but with Sparkle falling, that should be the Shock opening up a decent amount of space, so they should be able to get their way up here into the marketplace, especially if Bliss gets taken down. Whittling away at him, and eventually Proper will manage to find a headshot. They get the kill, and things are looking very good here for the Shock to be able to roll their way into A.
MCD getting picked early there by Heesong was actually pretty massive. Heesong was able to, he decided not to just play with his team and look to burst down Hanbin when he comes in, but he actually found that prio kill onto the Zenyatta, which really hurt MCD's ult charge as well here, so he's sitting at 53.
Ooh, great taps from Finn. Sparkle taken out. They're on the high ground.
As much as I love a mystery hero game, it is great to see Finn on his main role here actually popping.
Not only that, I mean, I was going to say Hanbin getting to play D.Va.
Yeah, that's another treat that we haven't seen in a long time. Well, I haven't. Maybe you've seen him a little bit more recently than I have. But
I cast APAC.
Yeah.
So not as much, but it is good to see.
That's true.
He's already got that self-destruct ready to go. Max lagging a little bit further behind here towards that Primal Rage, but it doesn't matter too much, given that they already have the cap. Now it's going to be a blade pulled. And I wonder if this was an intercept by Vinaim accidentally, but he's the one who receives the nano either way. Maybe he was going low, and they decided to just try to save the Brig, but the blade doesn't have the nano. He ends up getting taken down. Vinaim now going to fall on the back end as Sparkle finds a kill. Still holds onto a blade of his own. And that should be the cart halted, at least for the time being.
Sparkle is popping off on his signature Genji. You know, it's a hero that we know Sparkle is amazing at. You know, we haven't gotten to see it on him as much over the last few years in Overwatch League as it was like his main basically before Goats and stuff in the Element Mystic days. So I always have a soft spot for Sparkle's Genji. He takes out Proper there with a deflection earlier. The nano boost doesn't go off. EMP.
Yep, into the back. Heesong trying to set up for the kill on the MCD, but he just kind of shrugs this one off, and Max went along for the ride. Heesong, he made his exit, and Max ends up getting picked off, so yeah, not going to be gaining any distance here. Going to have to be a reset as the high ground still going to be firmly in control of the Fuel.
Overwatch 1, EMP hits that Zenyatta. That's a death sentence. Not so much in this case.
Nope, not at all. It looks like they're still going to stick with this. Shot across, Vinaim taken low, gets finished off. Sparkle with a blade, manages to find the kill. He's looking for a little bit more, and we'll be able to get Finn. So now supportless are the Shock. Have to wait for the respawns. And the cart, well, hasn't been rolling back. Certainly is not moving forward.
No, certainly not. San Francisco Shock in a really comfortable position in terms of how far they pushed it thus far, but they're going to have some successful dives. Speaking of which, forcing the trance.
They do force the trance, the Primal Pop just in time here for Max to try to stay alive, but takes a hell of a lot of damage, so he can't really keep up here on the high ground. He's managed to find Sparkle. Jumps in, finds the kill, looks for a little bit more, is instantly met with a Bionade, so has to drop back down. Self-destruct flew out from Hanbin, but looks like he's not going to be able to find any kills. Does safely get back into the mech, however, and MCD gets the kill on the Vinaim.
Max has been so low for so long, finally gets healed back up.
I mean, the nano gets invested onto him just to try to keep him alive, but it's not going to lead to too much of anything. He's actually going to die on the way out.
This is really unfortunate for Shock because now they don't have the nano blade. And keeping Max alive there was important. He got a mini, and it looked like, okay, he's probably going to get away, but they invest the nano, so now they don't have it anymore for a really sick EMP nano blade combo where they have Rally to actually stick to the point on the cleanup. So Dallas Fuel really liking that they win that fight so cleanly, you know, with that ultimate invested. So it's a much easier hold now with Ashe on this high ground. Yeah, and of course they have the Bob available.
Okay, Rally rolling. Vinaim trying to keep everybody alive. Bubble mitigating some of the healing coming through here, so Hanbin's still going to be low. MCD taking quite a bit of damage, and Proper does find Sparkle. Blades out, looks for a little bit more. Deflect on the slate. Won't be able to knock it into Bliss, but he still gets the kill. The cleanup is looking good, so finally breaking through here are the Shock. As Hanbin will be demeched and finished off. So now they can finally start to push, but I mean, this was nearly 4 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. Like, the way in which San Francisco Shock pulled this off, too, without the nano, Gurio does not get value out of his ultimate, and Dallas Fuel have done a great job of stalling this out, but San Francisco Shock winning that fight, which was a tough fight to take there, given the positioning. It's really impressive. Still holding the EMP. There it is.
They use it, and Proper immediately plays off the back as they find 3 quick kills. So really nice shutdown here. They knew that Fuel were going to have enough time to go for a recontest, but they completely squash it in one fell swoop. Sparkle will find 1 for his troubles, but then is going to be taken down. So a little bit of extra time in the time bank now for the side of the Shock. Just over 2 minutes to try to finish Dorado.
I wonder if Dallas Fuel will consider a swap to Reaper here on this final point.
CD got split spawn, but it looks like it's actually going to be the Fuel who are doing okay. And we'll find Max. Take him down just moments before the Primal was ready.
MCD is going to have the Transcendence available here. It looks like they're just going to hold with this composition, use the Dynamite, try to slow this push down, hold the Archway at height here at range. I should say with the line of sight they have. Not going to feel too bad about this hack. Well, I say that.
Yeah, drop down, jump back up. Proper's instantly there, drop back down again. Needs some healing. It's actually going to be the Nano out of the Gurio, and that feels really bad to try to have to use it on him.
Rather use that on the Trance at least, though.
Still under fire, though. Tagged low, and Proper dashes in, finds a second. Max will get Bliss and Sparkle. He's only able to drag 1 back. It's the Sombra as well, which is going to be the least valuable pick that you could possibly get in this situation. So Cardigan going to be moving forward, and Sparkle is lucky to get out here with his life intact.
Proper's just holding this door with his blade. Dashed through and got the blade with the Nano, didn't need to use it initially. Kind of an awkward timing for that one, but holding the door for 1 extra moment. Now they've got the Primal to keep them off this car as it pushes through.
Gurio is just going to go ahead and knocks him back into the spawn room. Transcendence is getting batted away, so they can't really get this over to the card. Keeping him at distance. His Finn is just in the back, taking pot shots and keeping everybody healed up.
Bob, the hero?
Oh, maybe.
Holding it for a little bit longer.
He's keeping it locked in a position. Take him down below a minute, but it seems like Shock should be able to just get this one through. It's just a matter of time, unless Dallas Fuel can pull a rabbit out of a hat. Rally now going to be rolling. Vinham trying to keep everybody alive. Max again down low on HP, but somehow is just not getting picked off. He's just hovering around this bubble that they can't break through. He manages to stay alive for a little bit longer. Humbat eventually gets on top of him with a Doom. Drop down here onto the high ground. Looks for Finn. The punch is good. 2 kills for him. Dive into the back. It seems like the Fuel, they might actually be able to do it. The swap here onto the Doomfist working wonders for them as the cleanup continues to be found.
Yeah, Sparkle here just trying what he can to delay some of these spawns. They can't touch.
Yep.
Yeah, trying their hardest. Max was blocked out.
Was trying to get there in time, but Hanbin was able to get the gatekeep there, stops him from getting the touch, and it's a successful hold right in front of point C at the hands of the Dallas Fuel, so winning condition is in their back pocket. Shock now, need to have a good defense.
Really good diversity of DPS heroes. The Genjis, obviously the Ashe coming through.
We had Cassidy at some point.
Yeah, and we didn't see Reaper, but which was kind of common on this map in the finals meta, playoff meta, I should say. But didn't see it here. It wasn't necessary, and we got to see some really great mechanics between these Genji players. Like the blades were great. Sparkle getting that kill on the Proper earlier to shut his blade down. Lots of amazing stuff here in that regard. We also got to see D.Va, which was very fun to see, to just have that extra verticality. But one of my biggest takeaways from this first attack was how great Finn's Ana was consistently throughout.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
All right, Proper. Looks like Max not going to go for the Arisa. Actually swaps over to the Ramatra, but we have a Junkrat for Proper. I mean, hey, hit scan player, guy's cracked out of his mind, just showed us some really good Genji mechanics. I'm on board. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Show me this. I mean, you know that Sparkle is going to be running the Genji, so the Junkrat can very much help to shut that down. The blade gets pulled. You have a Riptire instant kill coming through. Get him in the trap, whatever it is. Could pilot this incredibly well, so I'm excited to see what Proper can do.
Max also should be able to peel for the Ashe and the Junkrat pretty well, whoever he's nearest.
Oh, okay, now he's been seen. Yeah, quick double satchel out of there.
Yeah. He knows that he could get away with grabbing some free ult charge if he's seen late. We'll have to expend that cooldown, though, or both of those cooldowns, as you say. And
oh, there it is.
Rio, there's your Widow. Oh!
Okay. Finds Heesung. Oh, he's looking for a little bit more. Finn takes that body shot. Hanbin, yep, was set up for the dive. Comes through beautifully, gets that kill. Sleep Dart is held. He's trying to get the connection. Did, but then Vinham just had no way of getting bailed out, so he ends up getting taken down. Proper up into the front line, was antied out, sliver of HP, no way to help him out, so ends up dying. seems like Fuel should get a good amount of distance here as Max is completely disconnected from the rest of the squad playing the coast side. He will fall. And yeah, this push can just go ahead and glide on forward.
It's the Griot Sparkle duo that made that happen. The DP, or rather, the Griot Hanbin duo that made that happen. Those initial 2 picks that get them around the corner here. Now they're going to contest for A as they near the fountain.
I mean, this is just a cap.
Yeah, they just can't get through. The choke point not controlled here by the Junkrat. Proper's naded, and that's the end of that.
Yep, it's taken down. Sparkle getting the better of him. Max with a pummel will find Bliss. 1 for 1. But, I mean, so much time now to work through here for the Shock. 5 minutes in the time bank. Pretty monstrous here for Fuel. As Finn's got nowhere to go. Should die. Sparkle grabs the health back, but no. Finn manages to turn the tides. Nice little charge up on the right click there. Finds the kill in the end.
Yeah, that was really well helped out by Max. But now has his ultimate online. I don't think he'll need it to duel this Winston. Forces the ult.
He does. Well, Finn, I mean, he's still playing here within the building, so it does end up getting cleaved down. Been finding some value. Jumps into the back. He's looking for a little bit more. Wants to take out Vinheim, but Sleep Dart again connects, and he's low on HP, so Heesung can finish him with a body shot.
A little bit of Hanzo action up here as well. We haven't really talked about this, but Proper is taking the high ground with this Hanzo, trying to get some more information about where that enemy Widow is. Don't shoot at that one.
Yeah, definitely should not do that. Heesung, though, does open things up a little bit here for the Shock to find some defensive hold. A good kill. Nano now going out. That's on to Proper, actually. The match against Sparkle, who's got the blade pulled. He's looking for a target, and he's going to be able to get on top of Vinheim. Has to resheath the blade, but still gets both supports in the end. Hanbin finds Proper, and that should just be point B. I mean, we're going to be looking at 4.5 minutes here for this. Actually, more than that, nearly 5.5 for the side of the Fuel as they go into the final stretch.
Looking very good for the Fuel here. And okay.
He just doesn't even scope in for it.
Nope, and Heesung will be taken out. Sparkle in full control here, and San Francisco Shock here, they've got the Transcendence online. They will have the Hanzo ult as well, but it's, you know, it's only going to be temporary value, that ult. He needs to be getting more kills. He's done a decent amount of damage, but they're not actually getting those eliminations. This Hanzo pick isn't working very well for the Shock at the moment. There's just too many threats. He has to deal with the Widow and the diving Genji.
Yeah. Okay, Dragon Strike let loose. Jump onto the high ground there from Hanbin, just forcing back the members of the Shock, not giving them that advantageous position. Keeps them down low on the ground. Rally rolling from Bliss, trying to keep everybody alive, but Hanbin does end up falling. Heesung picking up the kill as he's now since swapped over onto the Genji, and Proper, they will be able to at least pick up one. He's trying to get Gurio, and he eventually will with the Storm Arrow to the head. So kills found, 4 minutes, 20 seconds now remaining here for the side of the Fuel. Still a hell of a lot of time bank to chew through here for the Shock if they want to walk away with the win.
I don't think they want to really back off here and go towards the point itself. I think trying to control this choke and utilizing the high ground as they are here with Ramatra and Hanzo poke is actually the better way. It's going to be the most time efficient in terms of the burning that they can get. Max here also about to have his ultimate. San Francisco Shock, when they lose control, they can kite back as they are now. Here's the Nano.
Okay, now on to Hanbin. Primal will be built up in the fight. Finn already using now that Transcendence, but Proper not involved there. Ends up getting picked off. Maybe he was antied out either way. Still a costly loss, and Finn as well going to get taken down. Bliss finds that elimination. Max knows that there's no point in using the ult at this point. Needs to just go ahead and go for the reset.
They were having that forward hold, but this is the consequence, right?
Oh.
Proper grabbing a headshot kill, but still, they're not as grouped up. Dallas Fuel have gotten in, they've gotten control, they're going to have a blade, and this is the cost of taking that aggressive hold. They got split up a little bit, and were punished with that Nano.
They would love to get Hanbin, but it's just too risky for them to push into that position. But even forcing the Primal at that point would have been a
so
big
close.
boon for the side of the Shock, but yeah, they just can't quite make it happen. Really good trigger discipline from Hanbin to not pop it. Max now just watching the flank. Rotate back over to the cart, which is currently rolling back as Hanbin just juggling around Finn. Blade pulled out from Sparkle. Heesung also has his ready to go. He's using it, but just can't seem to find any kills. Obviously, not getting too much eyes on it, but there you go. You see him for now. Takes Hanbin low, but can't find the kill.
Them here just trying to get Max up and healed. Ult's popped.
Still, though, getting tagged up. Puts the hands up to keep himself protected. The Dragon Strike finds Sparkle. It's a big boon now. Still, though, since the last time we checked in, it's only half of the time bank drained away. Max with a nice kill on the back end will get one,
Max is popping off.
He cannot overstay his welcome, but it looks like he's going to be just fine. Proper arrives, they take down Bliss. Headshot across Hanbin, nearly eliminated, and that would have been catastrophic.
Hashtag best Ramatra in the Overwatch League?
Just hashtag best.
Right, Proper's ult actually did the Dragon Strike actually did so much to peel for him there, and he had so many resources committed to keeping him alive, but he got insane value out of that forward push. Now maybe punished for it a little bit as the Zarya swap comes through from Hanbin.
Now you're dealing with Hanbin on Zarya. That's always pretty damn scary. You can see he's already juiced up, has that high energy, but Sparkle ends up falling. Finn with a nice headshot.
I mean, he could nano him.
It's that kill. I mean,
he will.
Yep.
I think, you know, once that charge is fully up, and it almost is, there's the nano.
Okay, nano does go across. Hanbin receives it. So pulls back around the corner. The sticky bombs get MCD. Bliss a little bit too late with the pull of the trigger there. Can't keep everybody alive, but the grab comes in. They get Proper locked in, but Finn takes down Hanbin. That's going to be the biggest threat now dealt with. Sparkle as well returns on the Soldier 76. It's instantly met with death. And the Shock will continue to hold.
Shock on the verge of winning this show match right now if they can actually pull off this miracle hold. 5:20 on the clock was the time bank. We're down to 120, sub 120 now. Dallas Phil using all of their tools. Nano boost onto the Zarya. The grab comes out. They've got nothing left in the tank but an EMP.
Oh, he's on going low. Has to use the dupe. Drops down, is trying to get an elimination, but looks like he's not going to be able to get one. It looks like the blade is also a bit of a far cry hope for him. Receives a little bit of healing, but this dupe is going to expire now in 3 seconds. Blade pulled, maybe he can get a swipe across. He does. Tags up Bliss, but can't get the kill, but it might not matter because Vinheim still finds MCD in the end, so a support down. Dash in, you can see how desperately Bliss is trying to get past this wall of Shock players, and somehow, some way, he managed to make it happen. Finn on the other side is playing around Mega Pack, ends up getting taken down. Hanbin finding the elimination, but now Max just shooting at them, trying to find the kill.
Dragon
has
Strike.
that annihilation ready to go. He, however, is going to be taking a hell of a lot of damage. Ends up getting picked off. Bliss going to be taken down. Respawn's getting ready to come through. Fuel have a hell of a run back. They try to get themselves into position to try to get this card across the line, but Sparkle gets domed.
Proper playing the game on hard mode right now on this Hanzo.
Woo! Okay, well, they kill each other.
Buying a ton of time. Gurio here hiding out, waiting for this EMP opportunity. This is such a close game right now. One fight to win it.
Cart. Somebody's got to touch. Somebody has to touch. No one's got to touch.
Wow. All right. San Francisco Shock just let it roll. And that will bring us to a 6th game here.
If only the people could see my face in this moment.
Oh, boy.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. Well, it was looking real good until it didn't.
It was not the first time this series San Francisco Shock did not contest an objective that led to their demise. That last time it was a round. This time is the map. Look, I'm not gonna say for sure, but it could have been them just like teasing a little bit. I think they definitely wanted to win it. I think they just miscommunicated on the call of who's gonna touch to defend. They had a lot of great tools and opportunities there. Like, that was an amazing hold. They obviously couldn't do it all the way to 0 and win the map because of the cart rolling through, but going from 520 to basically 0 there at the end was a really impressive defense from them. And
yeah,
I just gotta say, Proper on Hanzo, like, it didn't work out brilliantly. It didn't look great, but he's dealing with Genji dive, right? And he's got the Winston, the Sombra. Like, there's so many threats. There's so many ways he could die. He could just die to a stray Zenyatta. Like, he's got Ana on him a little bit. Like,
yeah.
He was playing against Widow earlier as well, like, where he's outranged, and he played it extremely well. Like, was it the right choice for the comp? I don't think so, but he was, like, still like, no, it's viable. Listen, watch me do this. And I was worried, and I think that time bank reflected how little impact he had on the early part of the map, but later on he did a ton.
Well, it's just some silliness in the end of it all. They don't touch. But
it's time for the RZ match, which is another weird way of spelling goats. And you know, we've had a lot of different variations of goats. We've had moats and jotes and Sombra goats, and
yeah, I don't even know what this is supposed to mean.
Reinhardt Zarya. Oh, wait, were you kidding?
No. I just feel like an idiot for now.
You like looked at me and I was like, oh, you're like, Wolf, that's the joke. I know what it means.
It's like, what is RZ? Ryan's Zarya. Somebody didn't get enough sleep last night.
Oh.
So it's a bit of for esports. This is an early day, you know.
1 p.m. start, man. It was the old way. The 1 p.m. start we used to have.
But well, I feel a fool, but it is what it is. So we'll get into this one.
So we just got the update from production that we are going to play all 7 games no matter what. But also, in order to save the world from goats, that we've changed the rules of the 6th map to Reinhardt, Zarya, Cassidy, Lucio, Ana. So no break!
So 1 DPS to the Cassidy, so pressure on. And as you can see, Shock's having a little bit of fun with it because Finn is going to be running the Cassidy here as Proper goes over to the Zarya, and Hisang is going to be piloting the Ana. So changing up the roles just a bit as Hanbin in the meantime getting beaten and battered here in the front lines. That bubble comes online just in the nick of time to save him for a little bit longer, but then Proper finds the kill. Gurio able to get 1, but that's about as good as it's going to get. It looks like his, Shock just kind of roll over the fuel. Swaps be damned. Kind of surprised that Hanbin is not going for the Zarya here. He's actually going for the Ryan.
Well,
Sparkle
I mean,
should be playing the Ryan. He played a ton in Mystery Heroes.
Yeah, Sparkle did play Zarya like occasionally, but it was always Hanbin's go-to in the GOATS era. So it does feel weird, but it was one of those occasions where like it was rare that the Zarya wasn't played by a DPS player actually, and Hanbin would play it. But either way, Sparkle is good at it, and it'll be fine. They do, however, lose the point early, so...
Well, Hanbin's going to be first on the Shatter. Max only at 72% at the moment. Hanbin, 1 more Fire Strike will do it for him.
Hitting those pretty consistently to land this. Shatter's ready. They have the choke point controlled with grab advantage, too.
Now it's all just about setting this up. Max probably suspecting that he's going to have this, but they go ahead and they force them back with the Deadeye. Quite a bit of damage getting pumped in. Hanbin does drop the Shatter, but it looks like he doesn't find anything. He's getting taken down, but Sparkle gets Nano, throws the grab. And it's 3 kills for him as they go ahead and gain control of the cart in a very crucial position.
You can force the Cassidy all you want, Showmatch directors, but it's still GOATS, and like the grab is gonna work out. The old school Shatter combo there with the Deadeye does not work, unfortunately, in this case. Boom!
Okay, drops it in, finds a couple knockdowns. Gurio going to be fine, stays alive. Back behind the shields and bubbles here, but they have to go ahead and retreat back over to point B. So good amount of space going to be given up as they wait for the full reset. Fuel now fighting a bit of an uphill battle, given that they don't have either of their tank ults, and Proper is just 22% away from having a grab of his own.
Finn trying to take the high ground here. Definitely going to be nice. Gurio does not have the same sort of angle here to break through, but they are the defending team, so he doesn't necessarily need it. As this gets really awkward, actually, with this composition for San Francisco Shock here. You need that grab, and you need the energy to actually force this fight. They have a defensive sound barrier.
Oh, well, yep, just holding it long there. Does get through the shield. The follow-up nade as well takes down Max. Good kills found, and Proper actually did invest the grab on this fight. So a bit of a catastrophe here for the side of the Shock as Hisang's going to get taken down to the back end for some extra stagger. Fuel now in a pretty good position.
You know, that was definitely not the right call, unfortunately, for Proper. And I see it. I see the idea. You're high energy. You've got a sound barrier coming up. Maybe you could force that fight, but now you've lost control. You had so much control over that choke, the spin around.
Oh, big. Oh, my God. The ante out on the 4. Kills found on the back end of it. Quite just yet, but Max with the pin is taking Hanbin for a ride, but I don't think he's going to be too worried about it. He's got the Nano to keep him protected. He's got the extra charge to get himself back over to the rest of the team. And Gurio is yet again just doing an immense amount of work here with this Cassidy. 2 more kills for him as he gets the 3rd there onto Vinaim. And the cart will continue to be locked in place.
Grav here, and you know, obviously 2 charges of both of his barriers. Sparkle's just sitting pretty at this choke point, but this was the GOATS map, right, where you're like, okay, I've got grab, they can't walk through this no matter what, but he doesn't have high energy here, so doesn't feel confident to actually hold this. Wants to just move back, control the chart, build up more energy. Cart, excuse me, and hold more energy.
Nade not finding any contacts. Nobody antied out. Nano is at the ready here from Hisang. Could throw that onto Max, try to get him into a good spot to nail a Shatter. And he will. Finds Gurio, gets the stun, but the kill's not going to be there. Grab came out from Sparkle. No eliminations on either side. Now it's going to be the Nano here onto Max. Just looking for some targets, looking for some eliminations, but now going to be held at bay as Gurio once more is going to be charging up with that Deadeye. Gets slept in the end. The cart being brought forward. Now, let's touch into point B. As Fuel need to recontest it. Start making their way forward. 3 meters left to go. They pull away for just another moment there. 1.98 now left to go. Fuel have to stay glued to this.
Hanbin gets nanoed.
It's juiced up. Fire strikes flying. Tries to get rid of Heesung. He's just around the corner there, the opposite side of the tube, but won't be able to get him. Instead, it's just getting juggled into the corner, but Hanbin, he desperately wants to try to get the Shatter online, and right as he was about to have it, he ends up falling. Hanbin, Bliss, now MCD, all going to get taken down, and that's going to be point B, snatched up here by the Shock. It'll be just shy of 3 minutes remaining for them as they go in the final stretch.
Yeah, I think it was a really good call to nano Hanbin there. MCD presses it the second he hits 100 because he wants to buy enough time for the Shatter to go off here and buy some extra time. Sparkle was so far away from the grab at the time, he's now nearly got one. And if I'm really critical, I think Proper could have held that grab. He didn't need it to secure the point. He does not have it here now, but they still have a huge time bank. Shatter gonna hit 2. Sparkle's down. This is massive.
Yeah, they try to keep protected. They cannot. But that Shatter is absolutely monstrous from Hanbin. Fire Strike will also find Heesung on the follow-up. 2 kills. Pin going to be interrupted as the beat is still going to be committed to the fight with just 3 players sitting here on the card. Vinheim wants to try to win this one out, and with Hanbin being as low as he is, they will find the kill, and they can actually continue to push. The beat ends up being huge in the end.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of time that Hanbin spent there and resources he spent actually with that is massive. Sparkle's got grab. They have the spawn advantage. That's a big turnaround there with that huge Shatter.
As the pendulum swings. So, yep, drop the beat on 3, win the fight, and then immediately lose the follow-up. So the card again going to be locked.
In terms of ult economy, it has been a shaky map here for Shock, and you know, making sure they can use those ultimates in the most efficient way. They've been very risque with how they're playing it, and it has come back to bite them a little bit. Hanbin purpled.
Gurio forces them back. Deadeye as well here from Finn. Tries to get some damage through right as they round the corner, but he cannot. Hanbin taken low, nearly taken out. Somehow hasn't been eliminated. Everybody's dying around him though. Vinheim comes up with 2. Now a 3rd elimination for him, as he takes out somehow both tanks plus MCD.
They need to hold the choke. They need to keep these players out. They need to keep Sparkle down. He has no energy. He has a grab, but they need to make sure he can't grab onto the cart. Look for a real team fight here. If they can just stop that fight from happening, decent time bank finish here for Shock. Should be on the cards.
They're trying to split out both sides of the spawn room here.
Just keeping Sparkle out, sleeping him.
Bliss taking down Gurio dead as well, so even if he does get the grab across, there's not going to be too much damage to play off the back of it. It's really all on Hanbin. He just can't quite make it over the top of the cart to get there, so it seems like they will be able to finish the map. So shy of a minute, so that is potentially important here for the Fuel if they can make it to the end.
Yeah, I thought Hanbin had an incredible defense there on C. He was given a lot of resources to do so, but his massive Shatter into double Fire Strike forced that triple sound barrier, right? Took a lot of the steam out of San Francisco Shock's push. On the other side of things, I feel like San Francisco Shock, despite a huge time bank, had a few too many ults that were thrown in from Proper and from Finn there. I think that could have been saved, and I think we could actually be looking at a bigger time bank if I'm just being really critical.
Oh, sure.
Still a good push for them and all that, but I think had that not been such a fast ACAP, might not have actually completed the map at all necessarily if they hadn't have had such a good final fight there. So scary times.
Okay.
There's
Talked about
Zarya.
it, and yeah, looks like they are going to be making the swap. So Sparkle going for the Rhine. Gurio, you're not allowed to play the Widow. Swap off that.
That's banned.
Get the cowboy back out here. No. Gurio, I'm warning you.
He like plays every DPS that's not allowed. We only got a few left. Can he is he put the Bastion in there?
No. Yes. Good, Gurio.
Fined.
Yep. We like find him like $5,000 for not playing the capacity.
He can't play in the opening match.
What? But like Prophet flipped the bird and only got a couple thousand. Like what the heck is this? Big Bionade right as they exit the hotel, and yeah, that should just about shut down the push.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say they will not be having the same time bank that San Francisco Shock did after their ECAP.
Yeah. Gurio able to find one. I mean, Finn and Gurio kind of killing each other with the mag grenades there. So a little bit of a longer run back for the Shock Cowboy, but Fuel still waiting to reset.
This gets very snowbally too. Proper gets better charge. Proper has the better ult charge as well. Like he's really in a nice spot here. Hanbin, however, I say that, he goes up to 80.
Ooh, they're trying to get this catch here on a max. 100 energy there for Hanbin. Looking for the kill, but they can't quite make it happen yet. Sleep goes up, not going to find the hit. He's going to be taken down now. Vinheim is well gone, so that should be the cap coming through, barring a miracle. But Proper going to be pinned to the wall, taken down as Hanbin looking good with the Zarya.
Yeah, taking Proper out there and not really giving Proper a ton of ultra, or rather energy on the Zarya was pretty massive. Hanbin comes up big. And indeed, but it still will be actually a fairly similar time bank here. It just didn't look like that was going to be the case, but they actually do cap this on second push.
Yep, slow it up a little bit more. As Finn is trying to get an angle here for this Cassidy to start profiting, but is kind of getting forced back at every twist and turn. Needs to get some heals. Does so. Immediately gets tagged up again.
If he actually had a Deadeye up there, it could have been really potent, but he didn't quite have it in time. Now they're through the arch.
So making their way through. Shatter dropped. He's hung dead. Proper throws out the grab, trying to turn the tide of the fight, but it's not going to happen. Max is going to be taking a nap as well. Finn now trying to hold them back with this Deadeye, but just kind of leaves himself out in the open. Ends up getting picked.
The idea with these Deadeye plays is to break the enemy Reinhardt shield so that Max can shatter. So it looks kind of silly when you're watching Finn in this position. It's like, well, he's just put himself really out there. Like, he's super vulnerable, but if he actually breaks that shield and Max hits a big shatter, it's a different story.
This is just a forward hold that the Nano gets forced here near point C by the Shock, just to try to keep Proper alive so they can make their way back over towards point B.
Yeah.
It might be able to turn the back end of the fight, though, as Gurio and Sparkle have now gotten picked off, so the card has to be evacuated here from the side of the fuel, so I guess
we're
in the end
playing on a different point than where the card is.
Yeah, I mean, I like the chase forward, and forcing the Nano is cool, but I don't know that they needed to use their own grab, nor did they need to stay in that position for as long as they did. It's costing them quite a bit, and the shatter looks pretty damn big. Max trying to back away. Pin does come through. Bubble's not ready, and Max is going to end up falling. Good turnaround here from Sparkle. Gurio with that Deadeye manages to find Vinham as well. Seems like Fuel should have the cleanup, as Gurio's been really clean on the Cassidy.
Yeah, he really has. His positioning has been good. He's gotten himself out of some really nasty scrapes, and he's done a ton of damage. And I think the more risky playstyle we've seen from Finn has had high highs and low lows here, but obviously he's playing off-roll here in this show match. Is Hanbin here sitting at 72% of that grab, Proper in the lead.
And on to Sparkle, Shatter. Just 3% away. Proper throws out the grab, but just don't have the damage. They don't have the pressure to try to take down this Rhine. Cart in the meantime brought forward, glides into beat. Now quite a big time bank here, over 4 minutes for the final stretch for the side of the Dallas Fuel. Shock, they need to get entrenched soon.
This is really crazy. The
What a
grab
lob
opportunity.
What in the hell? Okay, I mean, Hanbin's just like, he's just feeling it.
So, I mean, Hanbin is outplaying Proper here in terms of the Zarya, and you know, it's been a really long time since either of these players have really played Zarya competitively, but he used Proper's grab to get 100 energy, sat on it, did tons of damage, saw an opportunity there to lob on the, it looked like they're safe behind the wall, but he actually just barely hits it past the corner. And that's a huge push for Dallas Fuel, right around the corner. I mean, 3:45 on the clock.
And he's able to just consistently stay up near 100 energy because Sparkle's just playing like a lunatic. Deadeye from Finn, not getting anything. Max kind of getting bullied there in the front line. Needs to find some stability in that health bar. Looks like he will have it now. Deadeye from Gurio has been finding value pretty consistently. He's looking for a little bit more. Tucked away behind the corners, he gets a little bit of damage through, but cannot find any eliminations. But in the meantime, it still buys them space and still continues to bring the card forward. Max now going to be locked into the health pack room. The little cubby finally manages to push his way out, but is nanoed up and is instantly put on the floor by that sleep dart. Fire strike through, Vinham dead. Proper going to be taken out. Sparkle hits the ground as well, but stands back up. And the cleanup continues to be found. That's going to be the Fuel pushing their way to the very end. They even get a nice little 7-second bump up because the Shock finished with 53.
Now, it's still possible for Shock to win this. Like, it is not out of the question.
It is unlikely.
It is unlikely, and the main reason why is because in a lot of situations in a real Overwatch League match, for example, you would not actually play this comp with 1 minute here on the clock because you'd be like, well, I need to be playing around my ults. I need to have like some sort of tricky comp. Maybe you play one of those one blade push type compositions with Genji or something like that. You try to run a Sombra comp. There's a lot of weird stuff you could do in this situation, but
Reaper.
Because of the rules, they have to actually run the same comp, which gives Dallas Fuel this insane advantage because you're locked into the mirror. So it's going to be really rough. We talked about Hanbin's Zarya and how famous he was for playing it, but actually Proper I think you and I commentated some of his first Zarya games back on like Stormquake like a million years ago during the beginning of GOATS, and you and I remember it being like, yeah, he's kind of like the best player on his team, and he's definitely like needs to get on a better team ASAP, and then of course he did eventually go to O2. But he was an amazing Zarya player too. I think that really propped that team up back then. And he's underperforming, I'd say, compared to Hanbin here, who's really popping.
Understandable.
Yeah.
But Shock looks like they are going to be making some minor adjustments as Finn will go back to playing support, and Proper is going to be coming out the gate here with the Cassidy. So the training weights have fallen off. This is me in my my true form at full power. Let's see if it's going to be good enough to go ahead and get them this cap on A and give them a chance in these extra innings. Finn already going to be tagged up. We can hear that sound. The dinks are starting to fly.
Ooh, nice angle here on the Hanbin.
Mag grenade disconnect onto him, taking down to 16. Bionade out from Finn.
Don't have time to lose anybody if you're Shock. You cannot afford any deaths.
Which is why they're playing back around this statue and why the Fuel are pushing forward so fearlessly. Magnetic grenade not going to get a hit. Hanbin and Sparkle both down low. Pull back the antes, massive, clips on the 3, and just like that, that could be the breakthrough that they needed to go ahead and get this cap. Proper will get the headshot on the Bliss. MCD is dead, and it seems like this is not over by a stretch. That'll be the cap coming in as they go ahead and wipe the floor with the Fuel.
Max is like, I'm a Zarya player. I'm in my zone here. Proper's like, I'm gonna actually pop on the McCree. The training weights, or the training wheels rather, are off, as you say. Finn's like, yep, give me my Ana. I will hit the big purple. We will push this through on our first push, like our first real commitment.
And Sparkle obviously not going to be able to get in there to contest the point, wants to just at least gain control and get themselves back over the archway. He's going to go in, drops the Shatter, the Nano comes into the back end, goes for the pin, is going to be slapped, however, knocked to the ground. Now the counter pin comes out. Sung dragging him away from the rest of the squad. The barrier up, but it's going to break pretty soon. However, Bliss is going to be the first one that finds a kill somehow. Takes down Max with the headshot, gives Finhame as well to boot. Proper will find one for his trouble, but they've been forced off the cart. The OT bleeds away, so not very far to go here as Fuel get the cleanup and get ready to go on the attack.
I'd love to see a replay of that Shatter from Sparkle, because it looked like Heesung thought he was behind that little bump in the wall, like that kind of pillar thing. So he dropped shield, like right there behind that light post. He dropped shield because he thought, I think, that the Shatter isn't going to be able to reach me here, and he wanted to recharge his shield. And then Sparkle just right then and there, Kaiser-esque Eye of the Tiger, like slams it down and hits them. And I think that's obviously the key moment here, because if that doesn't happen, I think Dallas Fuel are really risking a lot by overextending that far. They could have just waited for Gurio's last like 15% of his Deadeye to try to use that to force the Shatter in the choke point. It's like a free win. But Sparkle took the risky play. He caught Heesung with his shield down, and that's the end of that. So, I mean, now we're basically looking at just an A-cap here with 3 minutes for Dallas Fuel. And that's why what we were talking about earlier just feels kind of hopeless for the Shock to actually close this series out 4-2. It looks like we're going to a Game 7. We're going to a Game 7 either way.
Yeah, we're going to do that regardless. But yeah, seems like Fuel going to put themselves in position to at least, still be the potential victors of this show match. I'll have to just wait and see what happens. But I just realized now that I'm actually frustrated that we didn't do this game mode during the Legends battle, because we could have gotten Stitch on the Cassidy and then Bumper playing the Ryan. And that would have been fun as all
Next
hell.
time.
Next time. Fingers crossed. Anyway, into the attack now. 2 minutes 48 to work with still for the side of the Fuel. And basically, they just need to cap the point, move the cart, and then they should have it. Proper's going to find first blood. Takes down MCD. He himself, though, dangerously low. We'll go ahead and get top back up as Sparkle kind of gets a little confused, a little lost around the statue, and ends up dying.
Oh, he gets out. That was a nice nade from MCD. Can stay alive and presumably keep some of his charge. Don't know exactly how much he's holding at the moment, but you can tell by his color there that he's placed it at 60.
Yeah.
40 to 60 probably.
Easily energized. Crucially though, for the Fuel, I mean, even with Sparkle dying, he still has a lead towards that Shatter. He's trying to catch up. He's too far behind now. Magnetic grenade does connect. I think it gets bubbled off. And Proper going to be taken down. And that could be a pull on the thread as things start to unravel.
100 now.
Yep, 100 energy. The pin going through. Bubbles not available, but not needed, it would seem. As, yeah, I mean, Sparkle's just going to go ahead backpedal out of there. They need to cap the point, though. They will start to do so.
I gotta say, Sparkle is such a fearless Reinhardt player.
He's playing like a lunatic.
Yeah, and I mean, that's sometimes the way to go. When you have this much time, you can actually afford one failed charge. Like, if you charge and die, it's like, okay, we reset, whatever. But if you get a pin, you probably win the map. And he gets the pin. They have that follow-up with Hanbin having 100 energy.
I mean, the cart literally, like, it can't move an inch. Like, they need to get out there now.
Yeah, it takes a moment for the cart to, like, fully spawn in, but they will need to contest.
There it is.
All right, Game 7, a 3-3 scoreline. It's everybody's dream. Like, every player said, look, I want it to go the full distance. I want it to be a close series. And it is delivering.
Yep, that is. Oh, boy. Funny to just see the card get into the position where it's like, well, now we can move, and then the game is just over. But that means that we get to go into a 7th final map. It's going to be Control once again. And this one, there are no rules.
It's a pro match, basically, an Overwatch League pro rule set. So the only rule set is that you have to follow the rules that are in the game of Overwatch.
Indeed. So no banned heroes, no forced compositions, just a good old Lijiang Tower to settle it all.
Now, I would like to see Fielder come back in for one last game, personally, but
same.
I'm not like, I'm not like, well, it has to be like that or I'm going to be really upset, but I would like to see it because he only played at the very beginning, basically, and
he dipped when the mystery heroes were coming out.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not doing that. I'd love to see it. I mean, MCD's been having a decent series. It hasn't been like his best ever, but he's doing fairly well. And obviously, Shock is a real team, so it's hard to criticize Fuel. But there are some things we could criticize about Shock. Like I said, the ult management and the final map was why that time bank disparity I think was so high.
These are all things to be developed in time, obviously.
And these are things that I only mentioned because I think part of the reason why a lot of people are watching today, Shock fans in particular, are like, how good is my team going to be? And I'm like, looks really good, by the way. But there are Krusty's writing stuff down on the notepad, and
there's going to be, no matter what you do, no matter how many asterisks you put out there, no matter what we say, there's going to be those people who are like, I can't believe it. We're going to suck this season. Oh, my God. When Proper threw that grab, oh my God, we're screwed. There's no way. We can't win the championship now. Just calm down. Everything's gonna be fine. They said that they haven't got any time to scream together. People are like, what? Fuel. I can't believe they lost the Showmatch or they win. Whatever. It's like, well, this isn't even the team. It's just
Just
keep it in pants. Everything's gonna be fine.
Reminding everyone, I made this statement before the series started, but the Grand Finals of the Overwatch League did go to Game 7 as well. It's a final map. Fuel won that time, so let's see if Shock can bring it back this time around to win that 7th and final map. Very close and exciting final game as well in the Overwatch League Finals. It was not a blowout in the final map or anything like that. And very emotional, I think, for a lot of the players. And will not be any substitutions.
Nope.
MCD and Bliss sticking in here. There is a fan meeting afterwards, of course, where all the fans who are here will be able to see the teams up close and personal. But we're on Lijiang, and actually Hanbin has chosen to play Ramatra. It's not Ramatra control, he just says, this is what I want to play.
At least for now. Let's see if that changes, as we are here in Control Center. First rail there from Proper, not going to find a connection, but then gets a headshot across onto Sparkle. Punish there from him. It's okay, maybe overstepping a bit. Then going to be taken down as Hanbin tries to get those punches across, does get the pummel onto one, eventually falls, but the trade up is absolutely huge. Dallas Fuel looking good, and I think they started the fight off without their Junkrat, which is going to be a big part of their damage, and they still managed to get the team kill.
It means that Sparkle is not going to have a ton of charge here, which is difficult to defend with, but if he can get in the position which he has here, then still a great angle potentially. Now, it's obviously hard to use those grenades against Azaria because she's going to be getting charge off of them. Yisong's down first.
There's kills being found. Shock on the back foot once more. Have to retreat over towards the dropship as Hanbin just looks to hold the door.
It's hard for Proper to get an angle for line of sight here to hit railgun shots, so you can see he's really struggling here to break through this choke. He's getting poked at by the Ramatra. Whenever he gets an angle to try to shoot this Junkrat, he's praying he gets that shot in, but he's not able to kill Sparkle yet.
He's looking for it. Gets right on top of him, but the Kitsune Rush now comes out, and Max may be overstepping a little bit. Grab going to be invested. Trying to get this turnaround here on the fight. The HP bars across the board are just plummeting, but still somehow, some way, it's the Fuel who managed to hold out.
If Hanbin hadn't died, if he had lived just a little bit longer, I think this would have been a cleaner fight. As it is, I think it's going to be difficult for Dallas Fuel to hold on to it. That being said, trickling through here, Max wants to stay alive and keep what charge he has left on the Zarya. They don't actually try to contest. They're just going to regroup, and Dallas Fuel, despite not being grouped up really at all, hold the point. Hanbin's back here now with Doomfist, and they've got a Riptire for the defense. Plus, Guriel with ult and line of sight.
Yeah, Proper needs to go absolutely huge here with this overclock when it comes out. So far, just continues to hold on to it. Shock occupying the center of the point. Kitsune Rush to look to try to win the fight. That's going to be the drop here. The beat comes through. Overclock out as well. Looks like it's going to work a treat. Proper doing exactly what he needed to do. With not a second to spare.
Well, there you go.
Coming in.
You're like, he's got to come up big with it, and he does absolutely that. And
he's looking for Bliss. I'm like, Bliss is already out of there.
Yeah. So what Uber coined the shotgun, the way he was using the overclock there. Actually, it was Mr. X who coined that in the finals, I think, where you're just like, yep, you slide in, I'm doing the damage, I'm cleaning up house, and gets big kills here in San Francisco. Shock actually still hold this Zarya charge, the ult charge, that is to say, 75% of it. So there's an opportunity here to defend despite the odds looking insurmountable.
Well, first, I was going to say they need to deal with this tire, and Heesung did with his face. He's dead. The kill comes in. Proper going to be hounded down as well. Killed by the slow field, and a big opening now for the Fuel to just go ahead and regain control at this point.
I think Sparkle should consider swapping here after the tire.
At this point.
Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if you can control this choke. Max needs to get on the point. Somebody needs to get in there, but he needs to get that charge up. Shock,
yeah.
Get in there!
Get in there, Shock! Grab at the ready. They do have the OT forced. High energy grab in, solo on to Sparkle. Somehow is not dead. He finally will fall. Then able to find Guriel as well. So now going to be DPS-less on the side of the Dallas Fuel, but Hanbin is still alive, still holds on to his Annihilation, and I think he's just going to be holding it into the next round because he doesn't need it. The cleanup comes in, and it's 139% Fuel. They take control center.
Yeah, just not quite able to get in and contest quickly enough there. Shock wanting to make sure they had, I think, a really nice setup and combo. They didn't want to look for first fight possible, like a scrappy fight. They wanted to have the best fight possible, and it was a little bit greedy in that way. And Sparkle having no Riptire, I thought they could just easily overwhelm him and blow him up there, and did not end up happening that way. Dallas Fuel taking the first round. And Sparkle, he's always been a great Junkrat player. It's one of those niche picks for him, but played it really well. This time he's going to be swapping over to the Mercy. We have seen this composition already here in Korea on this patch, on this very map. It's an old classic. See if Proper can knock him out of the sky.
And Hanbin moving over to the Wrecking Ball. So Farmer C plus the Tracer. Proper has his work cut out for him now, try to snipe him. Sparkle making his way up here into the window. It's a little bit of damage down. Eventually finds Finn with a direct shot at the very end. For the boop off the side, can't quite get Max off the map, but still does quite a bit of damage as the rail is built up, but he goes wide.
It's really hard for Proper to actually get shots off. He needs a rail to actually knock this far out of the sky, and then Sparkle can just dodge him using the pagoda.
Rail duking it out. Recalls back into an unsafe spot, blinks away. As Bliss still just sitting here. And Sparkle completely topped up. Sparkle wishing that he had a second Mercy. But not in this game.
Shot.
Nice shot, yeah, as you say. Finds one. Being thrown down. Hanbin down low on HP. Bliss does not make it out. Heesung is able to go ahead and hound him down. Gets the Pharah as well. Zoom coming through. Curious to see if they're going to continue to pilot this, because I mean, that was just the initial lockdown, by the way. Fuel didn't get control of the point, so it's 7% of the way of the shock.
They did a ton of damage, but this composition doesn't have great sticking power. It's great at harass. It's great at finding like side picks and just blasting away at getting ults early. But as you say, it didn't work out in terms of controlling the point itself. Sparkle does go ahead and swap over to the Tracer with the ult charge he had just carrying through. And San Francisco Shock feeling amazing right now with the ult lead they have,
Yeah.
as well as positional advantage.
I mean, that's Gurio swapping as well, obviously. He goes off the Tracer, goes to the Sojourn to try to match. So a huge chunk of percentage now lost. I mean, it was like 76% for that Pharah to try to have the ult. On the narrowly avoids falling down into the Koi Pond. This MCD will find Heesung, so trade out 1 DPS on either side, getting taken down. Fuel trying to occupy the point. MCD spotting one just on the backside of the sign, but just can't quite nail these kunais, so doesn't find any kills yet. Minefield going to be dropped at the entrance here as Max goes pushing forward, pummels at the ready, and you can see just how fast he's able to swing those fists once the Kitsune Rush comes in.
They just cannot cap this point. Rushes are traded here, but you can really feel, as you said, that lack of ult for Gurio really hurting right now, and Proper gets a ton of value out of his. Now they have defensive annihilation here versus a sound barrier, mind you, but that's still going to just get burned away. Dallas Fuel in dire straits here.
Looking at a final fight here for the Shock if they can close it. Take us to a final round. Sparkle
find a pick. He would be the great way to open this one up.
He's dashing through. He's going to be looking for it. Stick connected there from Heesung, but I think recall out maybe
Proper's
from Sparkle to try to avoid that one. And yeah, Proper does get taken down. Hanbin, however, punched to death as the pulse pump from Sparkle will be able to find Finn in the end. So it's going to be a tank for 2. Proper looking to rejoin, but the point just now starting to get flipped, gets interrupted as the recontest comes in. Heesung has to back away. Just right back in for more. Recall popped, and Shock might just be able to still win this one out.
It's close.
And him taken down. High value found here for Sparkle. Cuts around the back. He's trying to deal with Finn as well, but it's going to be Gurio who comes up with that kill. Proper, just moments before the cleanup finally in. 99% established for the side of the Shock, but the Fuel gained control.
Now, had Shock just let that point go, they would have given over way less ult charge. Now they're facing a lot of ults for Dallas Fuel. Now, obviously, they have a ton of time to get the flip themselves, so it's not a terrible situation by any means. It's still a good situation for them.
About the lap he's on.
Yeah. And he has now passed him. Hanbin almost with his own defensive annihilation, but one pick here for the Shock. I mean, all they need is one flip.
Okay, Kitsune Rush from MCD. Just looking to try to hold this. Into the corner they go. Proper going to be taken down. Sparkle holds on to the pulse bombs. I don't need it yet. We'll hold this for a future fight, a future pick. Continues to hound down Vinheim, takes him lower and lower, but it seems like Vinheim will manage to escape back to the sanctity of the dropship.
Now, the name of the game here for Dallas Fuel is to basically use one ult per defense if they can, or as little as possible, right? So they use the Kitsune Rush. Now they can use the Annihilation here and or Overclock, then buy time for the Sound Bearer. It is winnable.
Sparkle's kind of getting tagged up from all sides. So I'm coming in on the flank, hits him in the head with a melee. No kills to be found quite just yet, though. Kitsune Rush built up. Finn pops that one pretty much instantly. Fists come up from Hanbin, just trying to stay alive. Pulls back successfully around the corner. Pulse bomb out, not going to find a kill. Hanbin as well zoned. That means the Annihilation expires. And Sparkle, question mark, not sure what happened there. Maybe recall and folded in Koi Pond. Either way, it's going to be Heesung, who's the Tracer that comes up big. 2 kills for him. Pulse finding the enemy tank. MCD going to be dealt with. Now it's going to be a sound barrier dropping solo onto himself here for Bliss to try to buy some time, but it's just not going to happen. So the closeout should come through. Nice push back there. They know they can't touch, and that means that this 7-map set is going to be going the distance with a 3rd round.
Yep. Run back. Running it back here at the Eset Run Back series. And
brought to you by Eset.
Yes. Look, the crazy thing about this map is I feel like Shock has taken so many risky calls, and some of them have absolutely paid off and the other ones haven't. Like giving Fuel that ult charge it looked really bad, right? But then they played out the attack onto Hanbin's Annihilation so beautifully. We're super patient, coming in slowly, getting that angle for Proper. And I mean, now it just comes down to one round, this whole best of 7. One final round of control here on Lijiang. Both teams running the Ramatra. It's going to be mirrored Sojourn Tracer.
Okay. Full mirror across the board. Everybody meeting in the side room. As Hanbin is fearlessly charging up there. Shout out to Fearless. Puddle starting to come out as well, but Hanbin under so much pressure. Can they actually keep him alive?
It's going to be tough.
So far the answer is yes, but with Vinheim falling, Sparkle dead on one side, Fuel should be able to just go ahead and edge it out from here, as, yeah, the cleanup will start coming through.
All right, well, you know, as it turns out, like, they do get a lot of those resources onto Hanbin, and he's able to survive and win that fight. Looked bad because I believe it was Sparkle was picked first there because all the Afudo was being used on Hanbin. Like, MCD's just blasting him non-stop with the healing, so the DPSs didn't get any love, but they still win that War of Attrition. Now we could just kind of freely poke and harass here and try to get that early annihilation.
I mean, they're going a bit of a flanking maneuver, but the point is just going to be taken. I mean, the inside track established, Francisco Shock grabbed the point, the headshot comes across, Sparkle is going to be dead, and I think the Fuel just really outpositioned themselves here by trying to go a little bit more aggressive. They end up completely falling apart.
Yeah, playing for the annihilation, but not only not getting it, but as you say, giving line of sight to Proper here with point control, meaning that the choke point that Dallas Fuel was trying to control, they actually just get outlapped. They get outsped, basically, onto the point, and then they have to fight into their own choke point they were supposed to be controlling, all because they wanted to make sure Hanbin could get that faster annihilation. He fails to do so.
Good disruptor shot. Will be doing quite a bit of damage there for Proper. Pulse Bomb now at the ready. As Kitsune Rush, Pulse Bomb goes down. They dive away from it. No one ends up getting picked off. Max now under pressure, continues to fall low. Hanbin able to go ahead and chip away at him with his own annihilation. Venom as well, going to fall victim to it as the flip starts coming through. Shock gets set up at around 41%. There it is. And the cap comes in. Dallas Fuel back in control.
Now I'm really curious to see if Shock are going to try to just bully their way under the point, knowing annihilations are traded here and use the sound barrier advantage for a cap, or if they're going to try to get Proper into a weird angle here with the overclock. Because those are your two real options.
Or you can just do that.
Yep, if you get a pick, that's all you need.
Yep, finds one, pops the overclock. Bliss going to be taken down at the same time. Heesung finding that kill. Now MCD dead, no supports, just Hanbin and Goryo left alive. And there's not much that either of them can do. So the flip comes in right as they lose control, right as they lose the lead. And then Shock just retake it.
They get to keep Vindam's, the sound barrier. And so, you know, a lot of options here for Shock. They're going to play forward here for Proper. Greedy.
Oh, Bliss.
Bit of an oopsie.
That's a bit of a Lee Jae-gon moment. I can win this fight.
Nope. Can't break those cuffs.
Can't break those cuffs.
Well, that's going to give Proper a ton of ult charge here. Already halfway up.
Oh my god.
This
Proper
is disastrous.
an absolute animal. I mean, he's just cycling them. One after the other. He's just like, and you go back to the
Every
respawn room.
railgun's a kill.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, he's still continuing to look for some more.
Up to 60% nearly of his ult now, and Dallas Fuel frozen here at this choke.
Okay, they do force him back finally. They managed to break out of from their spawn, basically. The overclock is going to be used. Goryo sliding over to the side, still taking quite a bit of damage. Heesung trying to hound him down, and eventually he does get that kill. Max as well looking to just hold firm in the front lines, needs some heals, and as the Kitsune Rush comes in, he should be able to receive him. HP bar is still very low on the side of the Shock, but looks like with that rush, they should be able to win this one out. Proper going to be taken down, however, as MCD comes up with a second kill, but he still needs so much more than that if they want to win this one out. Sparkle dashes in, tries to keep this contested. Goryo rejoins, is instantly met with the Pulse Bomb, and the closeout comes through. San Francisco Shock will take Lijiang Tower, as well as the Run Back series for themselves.
Taking the Run Back series, didn't win the Overwatch League Grand Finals, but will win a nice consolation prize here against this roster of the Fuel. And Fuel's last time playing together with some of these players, obviously we had some substitutions. It's not really the finals roster at all anymore. But we got to see Fuel on stage one more time, and San Francisco Shock with this new roster, it's not perfect, right? It's a work in progress. It's just recently formed. The players said they haven't scrimmed really together. It's the first time they're playing together in an official capacity, but you could definitely feel this team has only up to go, and they already have such a great starting point. Phenomenal play around the games we had that were like traditional games, right? I thought was really where they shine the most. And Dallas Fuel with it. I think going back to that final moment, I think if they had waited for the Kitsune Rush, they would have had a better real contest there, not just relying on the amp it up speed boost there. But they got a little bit panicked. They go for one last attempt and they fail in the end. But ultimately, this was a very close best of 7 that went down to the wire, and we didn't know what we were going to see today. We really didn't. I thought Shock, where they have a real team, quote unquote, maybe they'll just stomp, but it wasn't like that at all.
No, not at all. Like you said, there's just upward trajectory here for the Shock as they move forward. Krusty can now start to really dig deep, get in with these players, and start to, correct the course on things that he saw that were maybe a little bit off today. But given that they didn't have much time to scrim, this is the announcement. They're playing on the the very same day that the whole team gets announced. They're playing in front of an audience as well. It's a good amount of pressure for a new roster coming together, and they looked overall pretty damn good. As far as synergy was concerned, it seemed like they were always, all on a very similar page. So I think that there is a very bright future here for this team. But of course, on the other side, the Fuel players, the Fuel representatives here in this matchup, putting on a good show. It was great to see Sparkle back on picks like the Genji, the Junkrat, the Pharah, albeit for a brief little moment there, as well as, seeing Fielder at the very beginning and whatnot, and Chio. It was a fun event, and I'm happy that these guys were able to take part in it.
Yeah, and to be able to play for some of these players for the first time in years in front of a Korean audience, that is, I think, something that you can't put a price tag on. You can't actually say like how valuable it is. I think for each player it's different, but I think that's something that's really special that the fans won't necessarily even appreciate. Well, the Korean fans will, but like fans of the Overwatch League from the West, people watching the global stream here, I think don't even necessarily appreciate like how important that is.
Yeah. Well, what a day it has been, and again, a big thank you to Shock for throwing this together, for the Fuel players and the Fuel organization for also taking part of it, giving us this rematch in quotations of our grand final. It did go the distance. We got all the way to 7. That was good to see. But of course, to Eset for helping us have this off-season showcase. Without them, this wouldn't have been possible. So a big thank you to those guys for keeping us fed with content during this off-season. And of course, the best way to really thank them would be to go check out their website and download their free trial. Stay protected while you guys game. Don't forget that they are offering a 35% discount on their digital security package from now until January 6th. So make sure you guys snatch that up because the new year is right around the corner.
Yeah, support ESET as they have supported us.
Yes.
Go to eset.com and check out that 35% discount, as Kilios just mentioned. Good till January 6th, so you still got some time. Tell your friends, get in there, and keep your computer safe.
Like I said, I'm going to be doing it when I get home because I don't have any virus protection at the moment. So definitely need to make sure that is taken care of. I think we should have a petition to change the Vast's name, actually, to ESET. So he can represent the one true god in the antivirus
the true
world.
Antivirus world, yes.
Make it happen, chat. Let's get him to change his name. I think we just need 10,000 signatures. If we can get 100,000, we'll get the White House involved. So that could be an interesting call. But we'll see. Either way, it's been fun. A show match, still very enjoyable, and always a pleasure to be back casting with you.
Yeah, I don't know the next time I'll be casting Overwatch. Like last time we teased it'll be soon. This time I don't have like a real teaser for you guys, but I'm hoping that it'll be soon, and I'm hoping that I come back and we'll have some more show match action going on, perhaps in the rest of the off season, or maybe a little bit of guest appearances here and there on some Overwatch stuff in Korea next year.
We'll have to see what happens, but the future is unknown. I think that might be it for us. I'm not sure if we're ready to wrap.
I think so, but I don't have anything else to say. Thank you guys for watching at home. Of course, this isn't possible without you either at home. I think Shock's got a good roster. I think fans should be pretty excited about this, and obviously, like they said, this is the fixed roster as we said in the interview, but like there's still opportunities to like add other players and stuff like that. So keep your eye on the social media and see what Shock's cooking up.
All right. Well, I think that's just about going to do it. So again, big thank you, as Wolf just said, to all of you guys for tuning in with us. We try to have an earlier start time, so it made it a little bit easier for that NA viewership. So I hope you guys appreciated that. Another big shout out to Shock and Eset for putting on this event and having us be a part of it. It was an absolute pleasure. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but we'll see you guys whenever that may be. Love you all. Goodbye.